All
Baby.
right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Scat, Bobby.
Wildly uninteresting. Sing. What the motherfucker's up?
I'd like to start off by saying, Ian, you look lovely.
Thank you.
You're
I feel
welcome.
lovely. You look lovely.
You all look lovely.
Because I ate a goddamn cupcake.
We got a guest this week, which is crazy. We don't get a guest off.
What up, Burby?
What up,
What's happening?
Bobby motherfucking Tingle?
Yeah. Hey, Bobby Tingle.
From your Facebook, I thought you were a professional photographer.
That's a lie.
That's a lot.
He's a mighty fine photographer.
Oh, before we fucking start, we watched something last night, and I want to say I take back what I said.
Say
Dave
before we
Chappelle.
start, so this isn't going to be on it. Just exclude this shit.
Dave
Welcome to the
Chappelle's
prologue.
fucking stand-up
Yeah.
was fucking
It
fantastic.
was
Goddamn
fantastic.
right.
Yeah.
People are cocksuckers
Yeah.
on the internet.
Did you see the shit where they compared the people score to like the critics score for that special?
Oh, no.
The people gave it a 99%. The
Oh, yeah.
critics,
Good.
I think it was 17%.
It's because they were all offended.
watch
That's what
it
it
yet?
comes
I
down
have
to.
not seen
Yeah.
it yet.
Oh, it's fucking
You had a
so
bunch of
funny.
bitch-ass
Me too.
critics out there towing the left's line.
Oh, I know, man. And how can you
Which
get
is
mad at
weird.
somebody
Yeah.
for, I mean, making fun of everybody? It's not just like one group of people. He
Yeah.
made fun of everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was. I loved it, man.
Okay.
People
was
can say
gold.
what they want to say. It
He's
was
a
amazing.
smart dude and he's funny. Bobby, what do you think of Dave Chappelle?
Great.
Hey,
Hilarious,
Bobby.
dude.
Tell
Hey,
us.
Bobby.
Totally.
Tell us how you feel about Dave Chappelle. No, man, I thought you were a professional photographer.
He
That's
is.
what I- that's-
Sort of.
He said
Have
he
you
wasn't
seen
when
the
he
man's
pulled out, he
work?
said it-
Goddamn.
I have seen it. I have fucking seen it. So that's what I try to get into. A buddy of mine let me borrow a bunch of equipment, and I was like, I'm going to be a fucking photographer. But I was telling him that the thing that would scare me the most is people's judgment. I want to do something where I get paid a whole lot of money, but nobody judges
But don't
me.
take dick pics.
Right. Right.
Don't try to take it up.
You'll
the
get it
skirts of
sucked,
women.
but you'll still have critics.
Yeah, man. That's what scares me the most about any job is the people's like criticism. on
Says
what
the
I
man that
fucking
does
do.
lights.
I know. I fucking hate it.
You make it possible for people to see shit.
Well, see, and then
I can
half the
see
time.
that your work sucks dick. I need you to take it all out, and I'm not paying you.
So most of the time when I do work like that, they always have something to say about it, and it's the worst part of my job is talking to the customer at the end. I
The worst part
fucking
of
hate
any
it.
job is always people.
People.
Yeah.
Forever.
People suck.
Yeah, people are fucking awful. It's funny. I'm a counselor.
People are stupid.
Yeah, though.
It's fucking
But
terrible.
that's what would scare me is like doing some wedding and then a fucking terrible like what are they called?
Bradzilla.
Yeah, man. Can you
Well,
imagine?
that's
doing
what Mike said. He was so uncomfortable the whole time he did our pictures, and I'm the most laid back bride you'll ever come across. I had they were all beautiful. They were
Yeah.
fantastic, and
There
he
wasn't
was
freaking out beforehand.
But
No,
not
I was
not
cool.
to him because I think that he's an artist.
Yeah,
It's like when you write
He
music,
was
I'm
like,
sure when you
"Fuck."
take pictures, it's just like it's never good enough. Like when I draw a picture, it's never gonna be good enough.
yeah. If he was uncomfortable doing ours, he should never do anybody else's.
No. Have you done a wedding yet?
Oh, I've done a ton of them.
Oh fuck. Are
You must
going
not
as-
be a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite wedding that you've done?
The last two I did.
Is that-
They were
Is that
like-
just a way to keep making money from it? Okay.
pretty much. No, the last two I did were for friends.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
Ooh,
cool.
yeah, that
That's
would
the
be
way
cool.
to do it.
And the very last one, we got a Muslim dude to eat pork.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, dude.
shit.
Shut up.
What was that like?
Hilarious.
How did it happen?
Sinful.
Yeah.
Sinfully great.
It was a friend of mine's daughter, a longtime friend, and we all kind of worked it for free. The caterer was a friend of mine in his, and I
Yeah.
shot it, and the DJ. And, you know, we made chicken and bacon wrap stuff and pork, and
Yes.
so after everybody ate,
Yeah.
we seen this guy kind of sneaking around the food line
Yeah.
and looking around, and he kind of covered his head, got a plate, and got some of the pork out, and he was eating it. And we're all in the kitchen drinking. The father of the bride and my other buddies, we're drinking. We all kind of on top of each other's heads around the corner, like
Waiting.
Hell yeah.
looking at him. And he
Three
turns around and he's
Stooges
like,
style.
"Fuck." And he's like,
Yeah.
He's like, it smelled so good, I had to try it.
It's like,
We're
if we can see you, God can see you.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, we converted, boy.
That said,
badass.
when we donated those sandwiches and shit and all that food,
Yeah.
the guy come up and he was like, "What kind of meat is this?" And I'm like, "It's the kind that
It's
a homeless
kosher, you
person
homeless
eats."
bitch.
It's the devil's meat.
But it didn't dawn on me though that
Mm-hmm.
some of them are Muslim and they can't eat pork, but it was ham.
Yeah,
So-
and so the majority of them that we made were turkey, but we did have, it was like, 70-30, and
So my
the
question
30 were
is-
ham.
If I'm dying in the desert and
Yeah.
Allah doesn't want me to eat pork, and that is the only thing
Yeah.
around, do I just die? Am I supposed to
You're
die?
telling
Am
me
I
this
supposed to eat it?
earthly son of a bitch will bring me food, but God, you won't give me anything to eat? I'm eating this
So what do you
ham.
do?
Yep.
You
It's
gotta die.
there.
Well,
Yeah.
and none of my beliefs are strong enough for
Not
me
to eat the pig.
for me to not eat the
Yes.
fucking pig.
No.
Me-
To
Eating the
die
motherfucker.
over them? Absolutely not. Nope.
I know some things I've eaten will kill me, but I eat it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
no. I eat fucking
fuck it.
food off the floor. I don't give a fuck about what God thinks I should and shouldn't eat.
I got a question. What does raw mean? Do you know what raw means?
Raw?
In what context?
I was like,
Photography.
no
Where are we
condom.
going?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
In
Ian's
photography.
bareback. What?
In photography.
It's a foul. It's a type of foul. It's like
Oh. I thought it was gonna be more exciting. Than
no, it's kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what they
Look,
call
You
nudes.
could tell by
Yeah.
his face. He was like, should I ask? Should I not? What's the game?
Where are we going with this?
That's what. There's a guy on YouTube that
We
that's
can't
what
start having tact
he
now.
makes.
I
He
know.
makes T-shirts that say "I do it raw," but he's talking about pictures
That just means he's too lazy to edit.
to edit.
Actually, it's the opposite.
What?
Raw is the one where you have to edit.
Ooh,
Fuck you, Bobby.
got him.
Yeah.
You'll never
Yeah.
change
You'll
my
fall
Fucking
off
your
mind.
left. Go
knowledge.
away.
Fuck your knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
All
So,
right.
how was everybody's week? Yo,
I'm gonna.
Fucking awful.
No. Let's
Fucking
follow
yeah.
up on this hostility. No, my week's been good. I've liked
Nice.
it, yeah.
nice.
We played a show last night. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bet. Did anybody come? Because you
Did
never,
anybody
Yeah.
come?
Dude.
you
Yes.
never tell anybody
No
where it's
way.
at.
Yes, there were
Nobody
there were
goes to
there were
see them.
people
They're
there.
terrible.
Oh my god, it was
No.
weird.
I've seen them.
There was this tall
So
lady
you
and
know
this
they
ham
suck.
person.
I just don't
Ham
say it.
person.
A ham
like a-
person.
A
Like
ham
dressed as a
person.
ham?
Well, Amy took a picture of him from the back, and she just kind of looked like a ham.
Oh, okay. She have a sad gerbil?
Did she look worse than the
No.
people at Metal Fest?
Oh,
But she was leaning forward.
okay.
So
I've seen those
probably.
pictures.
was she worse than the people at Metal Fest?
No.
Nobody's
No.
worse
No,
than
you
those
can't be
people.
worse than that.
No, those people were
Metalheads.
scary.
God.
The best part about the Metal Fest is the front of the stage. It was advertising free or
The
2
catfish.
for 1 catfish.
The catfish
Fucking-
platter.
That was the best
right
part.
under
I
the
like
singers.
I did kind of
Yeah.
regret
was
eating
awesome.
before going.
You
You
should have
wanted
just
the
eaten
catfish
again.
sandwich, didn't you?
No. I'm fat, but
He's got standards.
yeah.
Was it at
Awesome.
Mike Lenning's?
That's
No.
crazy.
No.
Is that
Oh,
all?
damn.
There's more than one fish game in town.
Oh,
There
I don't
shouldn't
remember
be.
what it was called though.
There shouldn't
well,
be.
fuck.
What about Long John Silver's? What are we gonna do with them?
Fuck them. They could just sell their breading. Long John
Yeah.
breading.
Long John Bread.
Fucking delicious. We just served fried bits.
Yes. People ask for the crispy
We
things.
used to
Yeah,
go get
that shit's
those.
great.
Yeah, let me get
Yeah,
extra
they're so
Oh,
fucking
just
When
good.
I was a
crispy
stoner
things?
kid,
Mhm.
we'd get high and go get those things.
Shit, Mom used to ask
Hell
for
yeah.
them when we ordered that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe she was stoned.
See?
That wouldn't be a
I
surprise.
think
Everything.
she's just poor.
But she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't like anything.
Yeah.
She's poor and she doesn't like anything. Mountain
awesome.
people will eat anything.
People.
Yeah. How
How
was
do you-
your week?
My
Yeah.
week was full of no excitement except for today. So when I started working for myself, I forgot that you have to get out there and get it. Like, it just doesn't come to you. And everybody
Yeah.
wants to call you at like 4 p.m.
So, are you willing to admit that the bosses at other places were out there getting it while you were
No.
a subservient
No.
complainer?
Those motherfuckers weren't doing a
No.
goddamn
yeah,
thing.
fuck them, lazy
Yeah.
bitches.
Lazy bitches.
Alright.
I would say that owning your own company is a little bit better. See, I don't base my pay on how many hours I work in a day. I do it on how much money I make in a week. So if I have to work 70 hours to make, $4,000 or $5,000, it's different. It doesn't match up. It wouldn't match up like technically with another job, but I'm building something for myself. Or that's what I keep telling myself. It's
good.
fucking making me feel better about it.
It's been fine.
Yeah, it's been fine though, man.
Yeah, it's
Do
been
you
fine.
do you have a company?
No.
Damn it.
Would you
Oh.
like to?
Yeah,
Would
you
you
want
like
one?
to? We're well versed in
We will
Way-
not help you, but
I'm
would you
way
like
too
to have
much
one?
of a fuck up for that.
They're just creating them here and then giving them out. You want a
Yeah.
business? You get a business. What you want?
just passing out businesses like Oprah. You get one and you get
Get
one.
one. It's a surprise what you get.
You don't
You
get
don't
one.
get to
You're
pick.
doomed to poorness.
You look like a bitch. We're not giving you one.
What's everybody gotta be a bitch for?
I asked them the same thing.
No, it's
Why you
different
gotta
though,
be
man.
a bitch for?
It's different. It's not like working hourly. That's the difference. And I gotta take calls at like 6 and 7 at night if they come in, and then
Wait.
which it hasn't been that.
No,
bad.
okay, that is kind of a pain. I was gonna say 6 or 7 is not that late, but it is the fact that you're at home and you're not
Yeah.
working.
Well, especially when you get up
But you
at
still
5
have to do
a.m. It's a
it,
fucking
yeah.
issue.
I tell you what really got
Actually,
me
it's
though.
not an issue though, because you don't have to go right then. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I tell you what got me though is I've always felt like I have to be like since we started. I felt like I have
Still
to be
annoying.
somewhere. Like I'm like I feel like I'm doing something wrong because I'm not going to a company doing work. You know, I feel like I'm. You know, it makes you feel bad at first.
It's like if in a past life you were a fish and you remember it, and you're a monkey now, and you feel
Oh,
bad that
man.
you're not swimming all the time. You're
It's
like,
exactly
I
what
should
it's
be
like.
whipping my shit about.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it's like.
You gassy motherfuckers.
I know.
We're doing
and
this
plus
again.
I had
I
a
guess.
White
There we
Castle
go.
today,
White Castle.
so sorry.
I
Somebody's
swear,
gonna die.
that White
yeah.
Castles would tear up the
Probably
whole
gonna be one of you
house.
all.
We I came in and it smelled like two babies had sex with White Castles in between them. I was like, this is fucking terrible. She
We're
was
very
asleep.
familiar with that smell.
What if I told you babies about fucking on White Castles?
It was. I don't know what makes it so terrible, but White Castle smells like death.
Look, plus I got 2 doubles, and I prefer not to have cheese, but they fucking put cheese on them, and their cheese
Bastards.
just smells straight up like BO, so that probably didn't help it at all. But I'm congested. I couldn't smell it. It was fantastic. So.
Nice.
So I was left with that.
Ha! And I was asleep.
Stick it to that.
Stick it
My
to
mouth hanging open.
My voice went out
Sleeping.
when I was saying that.
You nervous?
No.
Don't be scared.
Oh,
You need to get a remote control.
I ain't
for
never
cameras.
scared.
Hell yeah.
I wonder if they sell remote controls for cameras.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I could buy one for that one.
And just like hit a button.
Yes,
Nice.
you can buy
I'm gonna
one for that
fucking
one.
do it, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Because we were thinking
I'm
about
doing it
taking like
today.
company pictures and shit, and I would have to like set the timer and then take off running.
You might be able to get a
2
phone
seconds.
app to do it.
What? I love this world.
Shut up.
I fucking love this world.
Damn. We
Yeah,
never
they
even
got
thought
Max.
about that.
Cool.
Yeah, we bought this thing for the TV. Well, that sounds like I'm a redneck, but we got this thing for the TV, and you can control it with your phone.
Yeah.
But then we bought 2 of them.
We got a goddamn Roku. It's not like it was something.
We just
I
got
know that
some
sounds
of
like some
those.
Jap
Those
shit.
are awesome.
That's not redneck.
Dude,
They're the shit.
the Roku is the coolest shit ever. And you can go, I could control it from
Yeah.
right here. I don't
I'm
have to
excited about
fucking
it.
move to get the remote.
But-
I'm so happy.
Don't buy 2 of them and put them close together because you'll control both of them at the same time.
But you could have fun fucking with the people in the other room.
Yes.
I would, and they, why wouldn't you make a setting on the thing you could pick? Which I don't
Right.
know, whatever.
You would
Because they
think that it
assume you're
would.
not going to just put them right next to each other.
But they're not. It just so happens we have to open the bedroom door.
Just enough.
And I have
You
to.
said no.
There's a lot of geometry to this.
Yeah. It's like,
Thank you.
we're starting to do math.
We gotta like
I need more
point
beer.
it like this.
It's like playing pool.
It is like playing pool. We have to take the fucking remote into the bedroom, turn the TV off. So when we're sleeping, we have to get up and turn that fucking TV off. And just do it from the bedroom.
It's like first world problems,
It's just
right?
well, it
That's
just
exactly
fucked me
what
up that
it
I looked
is.
and like the camera wasn't there because I was gonna check and see it was still recording. I was like, "Where the fuck is the camera?"
Just look. Don't look anywhere else. I
Oh,
don't think
God.
it's on.
I like setting up hidden cameras too, so like you don't see the shot.
It's scary.
That's why I felt uncomfortable in the bathroom.
That's exactly why.
I feel so inadequate peeing all of a sudden.
It's gonna be the opening scene.
My dick is still big. It's just the stream isn't that loud.
It was cold. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me. I've always been in the bathroom, and
It's
some
always
people,
cold in there.
That's right.
Some people go in the bathroom and it sounds like a little child peeing, and then some people go in and it just sounds like a monstrous scream
Mine
of
sounds
piss.
like a fucking waterfall.
So I was
Like I've been
wondering.
pissing all day.
I was wondering,
I've seen movies like that. You can Google search it.
can you tell
They
the
came to our
size?
bathroom.
There you
Makes
go.
it
Can you
sound
tell
less
the
like a
size of
movie.
a guy's dick by how loud or how soft the stream is?
Only if you're that girl from Danner's wedding.
Mm.
And she doesn't even need to know about the pee stream.
No. She
Just
was
I
like,
look
vaguely
at
remember
you.
that broad, but
that girl was amazing. This girl come up to me and said, you work out, you have an Army t-shirt on, and then guessed to the T what my dick size was. I was blown
Yeah.
away.
Wow.
She knew exactly.
I almost
She said
left
it's like
Sarah.
a gift that I have. I was like, that's
She
a
said it was a
very
gift.
hoary gift.
She said it was a gift. I was blown
Yeah.
away. I was like, that is truly
Like
God gave that to
what-
you.
I don't know. The what is the thing? Like you see shit. I just want a fancy way of saying that.
Whore?
Sight.
Yes.
I think
Foresight.
whore is the word
God
you're
damn
looking
it.
for right
All
now.
right.
Horror.
No, I was thinking like wizards, you know. They're like, oh, I can see future events and I
I
know
know.
things.
Why
Psychic?
can't I think of?
Not psychic. Telepathic? Not telepathic.
No.
You know what? We're never gonna find the word that I want because it's
No.
probably not real.
I'm glad
It's
we could
not
do
a
that on the
real word.
podcast, though.
Yeah, I know.
fucking perfect.
That knocked out 4 minutes. Moving on.
Moving on.
Did you guys see that they're gonna
Nope.
there's like an asteroid coming
Again?
Shut the
towards
fuck up.
no simmer
Again?
down. There's more to this. Okay, so there's an asteroid coming and it has an asteroid orbiting around it,
Oh, nice.
and NASA in I think 2022 is gonna try to knock it off course.
Yeah.
And then they're going to send in another thing to like study it and all this shit. But you know who delivered this news? Who is an astrophysicist?
Who?
The guitar player for Queen.
What?
Yeah.
May.
He's like, I was just on
Yeah.
my back porch and I identified this double asteroid
It's like
coming at us.
NASA is already working on this and we're going to knock it off course. And yeah.
I'm blown away at that.
I did-
So they're
Indeed.
taking Armageddon to like the fullest extent.
Yes.
Except they're not going to land on that
And
bitch.
Aerosmith is
Not
already
yet.
ready.
Aerosmith is gonna play when they fucking succeed.
And
What
man.
if they
Affleck's
had a
pissed he's not
concert
doing it.
on the asteroid and Aerosmith
They
played?
could do it.
Even better.
Yes. I'd be
Yeah.
accepting.
Keith Richards and Aerosmith.
Awesome. It's a
Is
great
it supposed to hit
Keith
us?
Richards would survive. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
we would for sure.
Yeah, that's why they want to knock it off course.
How big is it?
That's
Is
what
it big
she
enough
said.
to fuck us up that much?
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
they're just wasting money
Well,
knocking it off.
Like the
course.
main thing is like
damn
3/4 of a mile across, I think, and then the one orbiting it is the size of a mountain,
We'll see.
Like what
where's
kind of
it-
mountain?
Where
I
is it
mean-
gonna
like a
hit?
healthy mountain,
Where is
corn
it?
the
fed
mountain that'll
mountain.
fuck you up.
Where is it gonna hit? Because if it hits like Europe
Usually, if it doesn't hit here, I don't give
or
a fuck.
Iceland, and then it doesn't destroy us, or if
You take
Africa
back
goes,
that shit you just said about Iceland, brother.
if-
There's a lot of Vikings there.
yeah. Well,
There
you
won't
know,
be.
There won't.
Well, that's
Won't
where
be
Sigur
too long.
Rós is from. I don't want them to die. They have a lovely culture full of elves and shit.
Shit.
I don't know, man.
You don't know where it's gonna hit though. My husband
I don't know.
asked you a question.
They can calculate that
I chose
shit.
to. Sorry, I
My
don't
thing
know.
Is, okay, my thing is think about how vast the universe is, right?
Uh-huh.
And how
Right.
small and tiny we are, right?
Right.
And all these particles that are flying around in the universe. How the fuck does one out of nowhere come directly towards us?
It's not out of nowhere. It's been on that path for a minute.
How many billions of years you think that it's been just fucking like, I'm
6.
going to Earth and I'm gonna fucking murder everybody?
Busting motherfuckers up.
See, this is what me and her talked about. Look, I said that if Earth is conscious, right?
Right.
Then Earth can consciously call on other things to be like, look, I need to be rid of these motherfuckers before they kill me off.
yeah.
So
Yes.
it called on the universe, was like, yo, send me an asteroid. And what did it do? Holler back at your player.
Okay,
I
you
did it
too,
for you,
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
But
got
wait,
one
there's
orbiting
more.
God, dude. I just don't get it. That's
And then
just
on the
let it
one
hit
that's
us.
orbiting
Yeah.
the major one is a nuclear reactor, primed to explode.
It's a real
Thanks,
shit.
universe.
That's awesome. That'd
Yeah,
be
that- I
fucking
believe it.
terrible.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
okay with it. Let it hit. Even if I die in the midst of the thing, so what?
Well,
It's
you
supposed
wouldn't
to
fucking
happen,
know
man.
anyway. That shit would happen so quick.
Let nature take its course.
Well, I mean, I assume it would hit like somewhere in the distance, probably, and then the ripples would so it would be like the Earth is like
You think
spikes in a.
you'd
Indiana
fucking
Jones
see
movie.
like all the fucking buildings and shit around it like rippling.
If not, I'm pissed at Hollywood for their depictions.
I know, fucking.
Oh, I know. You know that. You remember in,
Hollywood sucks.
Armageddon when the fucking thing hits in Paris and then Paris comes up like a wave and it's like what, and then it takes the camera out. That's
Yeah.
how I want to go out.
I don't
like
want to
that.
go out like
That's
that at all.
exactly how you will go
Whatever.
out.
I'll just watch it as long as I can, and then I'll shoot myself in the head.
I'm here to tell you, if something like that happens, or if they shoot a fucking nuclear missile at you, watch this.
Nuclear!
Whatever.
That's what he
Nuclear.
I don't
said.
give a shit.
Nuclear.
Every time!
So I'm
I
here to
love you,
tell
fuck
you
him.
that if you anything that's too painful for the body to feel, the body or the brain is going to be like, oh shit, shut it all down. Because
Shut it
when we got hit by the truck, if I was to die right then, I would have
Yeah.
never known any different. Because when I woke up on the fucking stretcher, I was like, what just fucking happened?
Yeah.
And then once I realized what happened, I was like, this hurts like I got hit by a
Hell
truck.
yeah.
Sure enough. But
enough.
so if anything comes at you and your body's like, this is a threat, the brain will shut the body down. You'll never know a difference.
Yeah,
You
have
go
no
off on a
idea.
trip and enjoy the rest of your time wherever you're going.
Wherever.
So is it just a matter of letting go of the ego?
Yeah,
Because
well,
like in moments of
Tear
trauma,
it
like
down.
intense,
tear it down.
terrifying trauma,
See,
you just do.
Yes, because I've done it like, okay, when I was like 20 to 25, right, doing DMT and mushrooms, I was like, fuck it, dude. I was taking as much as possible, going as many times as possible. So after like 27 or 28, now when I take big trips, like remember that time you were over and I took just a little bit and I was freaking out like the world was
Puked
going to end?
outside.
Yeah.
Well, like I fucking want to hang on to ego and shit. I want to be like, I don't want to let go of her and the life we built and all that. And it's, you know what I mean? It's just life. What the fuck if you die or not?
I
You
think
know?
that
It's going to
shit,
go away eventually anyway.
Yeah.
I think
everything
that
does.
shit comes with age, though. It's
Yeah.
just that
I think
kind
you
of.
just hang on.
Ooh, I need to kind of
Ooh.
just.
I haven't done
Stay.
DMT in like, I think I took a week off work and I was like self-discovery. And I would do it just a little bit at a time, just a little bit. And then when I fucked up and took a whole bunch and it shut me down real quick, man.
So with that, like, is it just a matter of accepting that you're going to be in the proper mindset to just be ready to let go?
yeah,
Mhm.
And then that
have to be.
implies that like your entire life, like you're just thinking, all right, eventually I'm going to be done with this. And it's just counting down.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I love this dearly, but
Oh, well.
when will I not?
Right?
Yeah, you got to be comfortable. I think going into DMT or things like or ayahuasca and shit, you have to be totally comfortable with like, this is it. If I take this, I'm gone.
Well, and
You
I
ever
would-
trip balls, Bobby?
Do you
Yes.
want to trip balls?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was the only thing that ever made me nervous about tripping was that initial. As soon as I felt it for the first time, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck!"
Oh
But
shit, it's
then
real.
I- yeah.
It's going. We're going.
And then I
That's
was like,
the-
"Oh, okay, cool. This is gonna be fine."
The come up fucks me up because it comes on so quick and I'm so anxious. I'm like, oh, I'm going to die.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna die.
But now, though, as I got older, I like to do it like spiritually. Wait till she goes to bed and then do it on the couch, right? And one time I thought somebody was coming in to murder me, but I didn't want to get off the couch. So I was like, well, if they
Right.
kill me now, oh well. Because I'm not getting off this couch.
Yes.
I am the couch.
He won't even see me.
Pick 'em up.
I'd be like Frank in the couch.
That's fucking great.
And you come crawling out, ass out.
And be like, he's just gonna kill my wife. I don't care. It's fine. I'll
But
be
think
all right.
about that. So have you tripped? How old are you now?
49.
So have you tripped between 40 and 49?
Nope.
No. See, do it now and see how you feel. I
Do it
guarantee you.
now.
I guarantee you that you try to hang on more than you did whenever you did it when you were younger.
My job kind of frowns on it.
Oh, fucker. Well, they can't.
Bastards.
They
Them
can't
motherfuckers
test for.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, they can't test for psilocybin and psilocybin. My fault,
Cybin.
Ian.
Right.
And
It's
DMT.
I don't care
Dad.
how you say that.
No, it's dad that
it.
cares. Fuck dad. Hey dad, fuck you.
Psilocybin is just a matter of
Love you, though.
pronunciation. Nuclear is adding a U.
Whatever, man. I'll say.
I
how
thought
the
he
fuck
said
I
it
want to.
right.
No, you think
No,
that every
and
time.
every
you love
time-
him too much. Distance yourself.
We got to take some time apart. I'm sorry.
So how long's it been?
We got
Just
any
since-
marriage
joking.
counselors out there?
Probably
Give us a
20
call.
years.
20 years?
20 years.
It is time to get you one in, man. I did one, well, I was out drinking and I come home and I was like, I'm just going to test this DMT to make sure that it's
I'm
potent.
gonna test it.
And I laid down on the couch and as soon as I hit it, I was completely gone. And I thought
It works.
Yeah.
I thought I
It's
was
not
yelling for Sarah, like subconsciously. I was like in the thing. I was in the trip. I was yelling for Sarah. I was like, I fucked up, dude. Like I lived
Like
with
whenever
these people
Dean
for
was in
years.
hell at the end of season 4.
Yeah.
I was like,
I swear.
Sam, you're Sarah.
Yes.
I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was freaking the fuck out, dude. And she had to come running, and I opened my eyes, and I couldn't see her. Everything was fucking gone. But
He could
it
feel
was-
me. I mean, but he had no, it was like 15, 20 minutes. He still couldn't fucking see me.
No, that one scared me. I didn't do it after that
Blood.
for like 2 years
Mm-hmm.
straight. And I kept like every time I opened the door, I was like, "This is it. This is when it comes back to get me." Because I felt like the real world was fake,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was real. So I was like, when I come back, I kept opening doors. Like, dude, I'm gonna
Walk
open this
into
door and
the other
walk back
side.
into this, and they're gonna be like, "Tricked you."
Have scientists figured out what part of the brain or like what chemical or whatever makes us think that something is real? What's like the difference between like
I don't
a
think
trip
so.
and a
I
dream
don't
and then like
believe
actual
so.
reality?
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
Well, because you would essentially. Well,
That's
I guess
how we
you
get
wouldn't-
rich.
You wouldn't have to understand. Yeah, because that'll just happen. It's a
That's how we get
quick
rich.
Money scheme.
Let's do it.
Fucking asshole. Jesus. But you would essentially have to be able to identify consciousness and what part of the brain is involved in that to be able to do that. I think.
What about just awareness or perception in general?
I don't know.
Can you separate perception from consciousness?
I think
don't know.
Buddhist monks can.
Well,
No,
let's
I'm
get
telling
No,
you.
that makes sense.
I think they can
yeah.
go so
sorry.
deep into the unconscious, the subconscious,
Yeah.
that they can separate themselves. I think because they take years and they study meditation. Can you imagine that?
They
That's what you
do.
do for years.
Yeah.
Study meditation. I've tried to do that, which we were talking about the floating, and it's the first time. Well, I've only done it twice, but it's the first time I actually fucking like had visuals and all this
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
without no
dude.
drug. Oh,
That, yeah. That's
Are
just
you
crazy.
doing like a deprivation?
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
man.
boy.
It was
Have you done it?
beautiful.
No.
Oh, you
Weightless
gotta.
Float Center, dude. That's the one I like going to.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. After that one came to Louisville, there's like 2 others now,
Oh,
but they're punk bitches.
I fell
Either way.
asleep in it with all the lights off and then woke up and I
That's
sleep
probably what I would
fucking
do.
deep.
I'd pass out.
You got to do
Just
it.
go
man.
Oh, I
sleep.
flipped out when I woke up. I was like, what the fuck am I in? Because there was nothing.
Drowning here.
Yeah.
I think I like it the most because you can't tell that you. After a while, you can't tell you're in water. If you
Yeah.
meditate
Yeah.
enough, you can't tell you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to like when you open your eyes, it's like you ever seen the movie Hollow Man?
negative
No,
on
I
that.
don't
Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon. I fucking hate
Yes,
all
I
of
did
them.
see that movie.
Thank
Oh
God.
wait, was he
I
like
have
the
seen that
invisible dude?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
So
I've
he
seen it.
couldn't go to sleep because his eyelids were transparent, right? So I thought like if he was in a deprivation tank, then he could because you can't tell that your eyes are open. That's
That's
the
true.
coolest thing I think.
That is messed up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love that about
Have you ever
it.
seen Altered States?
Oh, it has
Oh.
Kevin Bacon in it.
Oh,
No,
no,
no.
it's
Uh-uh.
it's
You
an
gotta
old
get
old
off Kevin
movie.
Bacon's
I
dick.
fucking love Kevin Bacon.
It's about
Altered
Right?
States.
yeah.
Yeah, it's about all
It's a
He does.
deprivation tank. I'm
Yeah.
brain farting.
Oh,
I
it's
need more
not.
alcohol.
It's not about like tripping or
It's
anything.
Get this
yeah,
man
it's a
some
tripping
booze.
because he starts experiencing outside the tank
go.
what was
Yeah.
going on in his head
I was
inside
thinking
the
like
tank.
Raven Maid.
Gotcha.
It was like in the 80s because I'm old.
nice.
What'd you
man.
say it's fucking called?
I got
Altered
it right
States.
Altered Steak. I got it.
here. Right here.
Shit.
I'm gonna check that
He
out.
starts experimenting in the deprivation tank, and then when he's outside of it,
Yeah.
he starts seeing all this same shit
Hell
happening.
yeah.
See, they
It's-
people
It does seem reasonable.
people talk about like out of body experiences, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that yet. I mean, other than DMT, which is completely out of this world, but
So
like
you have it.
getting out of your body, and I just haven't had that.
All right.
Fuck you. That's all I got to say about that. I'm gonna blur you out of
Let's
this
go.
fucking show, you cocksucker.
Ah,
Fucking awesome.
man, I saw this picture on Tumblr. It was like focusing on somebody, and then it was on the Graham Norton show, I think. And
it
Amy
wasn't.
Schumer was on there, but they blurred her out specifically.
Gosh.
It made me laugh
You
because she
remember?
sucks.
You remember
It's
when
fantastic.
when South Park was making fun of Allah, like the Muslim
No.
religion?
Yes.
And they were like, you better not show them or we're going to murder you, which they've done in the past, right?
Mhm.
And they were like, okay, cool. So they put a censor bar over them.
Oh,
And they still
yes.
made fun of them, but they
Yeah.
put a censor bar over them. I think that it worked for the Muslims. They were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
they called him the
it's
God
not
of
like
Fire.
They're not thinking like beyond that. They're like, we have this one thing. Do not physically show him,
Yeah.
and all is well.
So somebody told me about that. You
Awesome.
cannot they do not depict their God in any way. They don't draw pictures. There's no physical form for Allah.
Like, what fucking point does that serve? Like, what's the point of that shit?
Well, it's because
who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna think about like religions and shit, it's best if you don't actually like personify and like solidify what the image is.
I guess
and
it
then
brings it down.
You mean
to,
like Jesus is a white dude?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Who's
Right.
extremely not white.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people in for a surprise, right?
Yeah. Dude.
I can't wait. I hope he is real, because I would love to see this guy. Be like, really, man? What do you mean in that book?
That just makes
bro?
me think Israel
Yeah.
was called that because somebody was drunk.
Is it
Israel?
real?
Is it real? Israel? That's what we'll call
I
this.
hope.
I hope they're all
Like,
real.
that's a dope name.
So, okay, a buddy of mine explained to me this way. He said, what if? Because a lot of the religions are technically the same, but they just call it different. What if? So if I'm going to
I'd say they're
Europe,
essentially the same.
if I want to teach something in, think of anywhere with like a different language. If I want to teach something in Africa, or if I want to teach something in Europe, and they don't speak my language, so I send a secondary person out, and they speak a certain language, and their name is different, but they're speaking the same words, right? His name's
Right.
Allah. Then you send out another one somewhere else, Africa, whatever, anywhere. You know what I mean? It's just the same story, different people telling it, and they call God different names, because it's generally the same fucking
It's
story.
like if you research the flood story from the Bible, it's happened in Sumerian culture and
Right.
culture several thousand years older
So
than the Christian
does
Bible.
that imply that like it actually happened? It was probably based on something,
There's
or is
proof
it just
that it actually
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
They found layers, like scientists and archaeologists have found the silt layers in mountains where there's oceans are not at anymore.
Right.
I mean,
Nice.
something has happened,
yeah?
but there's
And see, they
several interpretations of it.
the guy went out to disprove the Christian religion. He went out to disprove it and couldn't. Which it's not the same as proving it, but he found a
Right.
lot of proof saying that it was true, and everything matched up, the timelines, everything. But I think that it's the same story, but because they were all the gods were born in a virgin birth. You know, all the Jesuses, if you will, were born of a virgin birth, and then they're all on the same date. They're all born on the. You know, it's just I don't know.
Well, it's a good possibility because translations from language to language don't hold up. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
It's certainly we say one thing and it's more beautiful in a different language.
Right, probably French.
Yeah, Spanish even.
French people can lick these nuts.
Man,
I hate
All
the
of
French
them.
language.
come on. I like
All
the. I
you
like the
French
Sounds so
French don't
rapey.
like us.
All-
No,
all you
it's
French
only
people.
rapey if you rape.
Give us a call.
Oh, that's why.
We'd
Wait.
love to have you come lick my husband's nuts, please.
Yeah, I'd pay to see that.
How much though?
Not a lot.
$10, $5.
$10.
I'll trade you 2 White
Yeah.
Castles with cheese.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Be
That's how it's
awesome. I'll have to
going.
eat them outside the house
Get
though.
we'll get some French rapey crack whore in here. And
So
there you
Oh, the crack.
So,
my favorite thing about photography, I went and did a.
oh, so
I
we're
did my-
okay. Changing.
I'm
the
going
subject.
back to that. The thing I like about it, and it goes back to, I think I'm a fucking introvert in that sense, is because I like hiding behind. When we were at my family reunion, I was taking pictures at my family reunion. I am a rapist. That has nothing to do with the photography.
Fucking
Random mark,
people.
whatever that is.
But I like hiding behind the, being off in a corner somewhere, nobody knowing you're there, and just taking pictures of life. Mm-hmm. It didn't have to be anything.
Yeah.
It'd just be life. That's what I like about it.
Hell yeah. Well, you get to see it through a different perspective in a sense.
Yeah.
Different set of eyes.
Yeah.
When
What do you like about it, Bobby?
Like
Just
what?
like taking pictures.
What gets you off about taking pictures?
he likes pushing buttons.
Is it the hardware or is it the subject?
Yes.
Excellent.
I don't know, man. There's so much to it, though. That's the thing is, okay, so I bought, I told you I was going to try to learn piano. So I bought a 49 key MIDI controller, and I've been learning. I think I was made to do it because I love coming home. Like, I look forward to coming home and, like, doing it, right? But I also feel like I was meant to do something in film because I like standing behind a camera, not talking to anybody. Don't fuck with me.
right?
But I don't like, I want to do something where I make a lot of money and I don't have to deal with customers. I could just do the
So you want to
art
be
or
a
whatever.
drug lord?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, we've gone down that road already. We don't want to do
We-
that again.
We couldn't not get high on our own supply.
Yeah, you can't do your own drugs.
How many times have I looked at you and been like, look, we can buy just a little bit and we can sell it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, we can't.
No.
No, we can't.
I don't care what
I
it is.
borrowed
man.
money from someone one time specifically so I could buy X amount, sell it, and then be able to
You did
get
it
this
all.
amount for me and pay him back. No, I
No.
just did $200 worth of dope in a day. Instead, it didn't go
Ain't that
very
funny
well.
how that works?
I mean, in
Dude
theory,
never
it's
asked for
gold.
his money back though.
What?
sweet
It's
of
like he
him.
forgot.
Ballin'?
He probably got fucked up and
You're
forgot.
giving my money back.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why it's best to cohort with like druggy people.
Hell
'Cause they'll
yeah.
probably forget.
Almost definitely.
I don't hate on drug dealers in that sense. And that's what the thing that was brought up with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said it's a lot like the opioid epidemic is a lot like the crack epidemic.
Yeah.
But now everybody's paying attention because it's all
It's
the
fucking
fucking
white people.
white people's kids and they can't get them off them. So now it's a health issue. And he's correct. Like
Yeah.
we didn't understand it. And back then we were biased. They were a lot of racists out there, and they're just like, fuck them, just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it holds true now. Just don't do it because I know if I do it one time, like that's it.
Right.
It's fucking it.
But you know now because you've gone through the shit.
Yeah, and I'm a better person for it.
Well,
so
and
if,
you know, we've discussed this so many times that when you're told not to do something, you
Oh,
want to
wanna
fucking
fucking
do
do
it.
Hell yeah.
Every time.
End of story. Yeah.
I think that's in America prevalently
Mm-hmm.
because in America we're taught, well, that's naughty, don't fucking do that, and we're told if nobody told you about the fucking red pill, you'd never know it was there.
Right.
I'll just eat both of them.
Yeah, it looked like fun to me
Always.
when all those fucking things that looked like fun, and I was a hyper kid. Speaking of hyper fucking kids, did you know that they're saying now that they made up the diagnosis ADHD?
Well, of course they did.
Yeah,
it
they
was
make everything.
because
It's not. They can't prove that it's actually.
You mean they just wanted to sell pills?
They just want to sell pills to kids to get
Well,
kids fucked
yeah.
up on them.
I can say it really all comes down
What?
to behavioral issues. It's a diagnosis that they slap on kids because their parents don't fucking discipline them. Not always.
Right.
There are some cases where kids are just
No,
heathens.
I
but
can see that, but then again, there's kids who don't talk a lot. There's
I'm
kids
fine.
that sit in the class and whatever.
Shut up, heathen.
There's kids like I was, and man, I just fucking like I wanted to do everything all the time, and I hated sitting in a desk. I fucking hate it. I couldn't pay attention if I didn't like it. If I didn't like it, fuck you, I'm going home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I skipped class a lot. I ended up being a drug addict. Fucking, this is what you get, teachers.
No,
You set me up for
That was
failure.
the teacher's fault that you did drugs.
Damn it,
Bitches.
teachers.
Goddamn
They were
teachers.
selling to him.
They
There
probably
has to be a
were.
difference
Come here,
though
kid.
between kids that like can't pay attention and kids that won't pay attention.
Yeah.
And then
Is it that they can't pay attention, Ian, or is it that the structure of school
Tell us,
is
Ian.
just so monotonous and
I could
so
pay attention though.
I know, but you were designed to pay
But
attention
I
in the
absolutely
classroom.
I was
have-
the same way. I
Well, I mean,
couldn't
yeah,
sit there
it
in
could be
class.
the school
I-
system, but I mean, if you take the idea of like a Montessori school where you have certain things and you can choose from
Yes.
that,
Right.
then it's more likely to be beneficial. But
I would
with
love
the
that.
current structure, yeah, I could see where it's.
Yeah. They gave them little like bicycle wheels. Have you ever seen that under the desk so that they could
Yeah,
stay
'cause-
active?
What?
Wow. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
little bicycle wheels.
Sitting
Well,
on the
how much
bouncy balls and
Oh yeah, that is crazy.
I mean, that is kind of cool, but how loud are they?
I
don't think
imagine
are.
they bought
They
stock
grease
in
'em up.
WD-40 as well. Yeah.
I think they would have more
Genius.
kids. They would definitely have more kids learning the correct way if more schools were interactive, if they gave more money into the schools so they could make them more interactive. Right now, the burden falls on the teacher. And then-
and our school system, like Jefferson County school system, is designed around a standardized test,
Right.
and and that's just to get funding.
Right.
You get so many kids to pass this test, and we're going to give you X amount of dollars, and we
Oh.
don't give two shits whether they actually know anything to be able to live
No
on
kid
their
left
own when they get
behind.
out of high school.
Right.
Yeah. No child left behind.
It's all
It is
about
real
money.
fucked up that the goal isn't to educate; it's to pass.
No,
the
You know
not.
what they're
test. I
really
don't-
good
Well,
at
how
doing?
are you going to pass if you're not educated, though?
Because the
Oh,
test
no
is set up
child left
for it.
behind. Yeah.
Well,
they push you
And say,
through.
but it's a limited test. It doesn't cover all these different things. So then the curriculum throughout the year only covers these test subjects, but these test subjects don't apply to life.
One of my wife's friends is she's a math teacher in the Jefferson County schools, and she said going into this year they can't straight teach math. They've got to just give them these little stupid
Oh,
projects
shit.
to do, and they can't come in and say, 2 + 2 is 4 anymore. They've got to,
we were talking.
here's some paper and scissors. Go fucking cut something up.
Yeah.
Make an art project.
I think
so
though,
dumb.
look, check this out. What schools are really good at, they've always been good at, is creating employees.
Yes.
People who follow the rules. They know that, like, that in school suspension shit, like, you're gonna get in trouble if you don't do what we tell you to do. Like, that's so unfair. But now their whole main goal is just to make you as stupid as possible. They're just like, fuck you. And then when you get out there,
Fuck ya.
you have to get a warehouse job or something that's just mind numbing.
And there's a shortage of those kind of people coming up.
Yeah,
with all
man.
the baby boomers retiring and quitting working, and we're not
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have plumbers and truck
We
drivers
can't find
and
none, man. It's already happening.
electricians, welders.
We can't find none. And then I talked to this butcher I was working for today, and the dude said it doesn't matter what you're in right now. Nobody can find employees because all these kids are A, spoiled, or B, they just don't know anything. They're
Right.
not good at anything. So they do terrible at work, and you can't keep them. If you keep them, it's a
Yeah,
liability.
because they don't have to fucking do anything.
My day job, we had trouble hiring people. And just for reference, my day job, I work in an aircraft maintenance shop for UPS.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Damn.
when you go through the
Give me a
5-year
beer,
pay
boy.
progression, we make
Yeah.
a decent amount of money. We had trouble getting people to take the jobs. We
Well-
had a guy walk out halfway through his first day. He was like, fuck
What?
this.
What?
And we're like, what?
Yeah, that's
He was like,
crazy.
no, fuck this. I ain't doing this shit.
Well, and that's like it's a steady job.
Yeah, it's a union. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not going to sit here and kick unions out one way or the other, but it's a steady union
Unions
Yeah.
are cool, man.
Yeah, I'm all right with them.
Export.
And they've got benefits that are
I love
good.
you, man.
And people just, I just don't
Yeah, I mean-
understand. It's going to be there forever.
My job.
I mean, maybe not. I guess they've said that
I
before.
know, right? I thought the same thing
The
about
kids that
CDs.
started this
Yeah.
year, because we started a second shift in my particular shop, and after 5 years, they're going to make 33 something an hour and have full paid benefits.
Damn.
Yeah, sign me up.
And
dude.
and kids were walking out like,
What?
I'm not doing this. Fuck this. It's dirty, hard work. It's hot.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I've tried to pull people into that didn't even have, like, because my cousin pulled me in when I was 17. He was like, look, this is the setup. You get a raise every single year. And by the time you're out, and I fought the system. He's like, by the time you're out, you'll make anywhere from $30 to $35 an hour. And I was like, after 2 years of working with that guy, I was like, fuck this place. I'm going back to college. I did 3.5 years, turned into a drug addict, and quit. And then now I ended up back in the trade. I wish I always stayed because I would never have debt. I would have learned the trade sooner, and I'd have been a master sooner. But the kids now, dude, they don't. I try to tell them, I'm like, yo, get in. You can make money while learning. And then when you get
can
out,
make a lot of money when
Yeah.
you get done learning.
yeah,
Well, and a lot of places will pay for you to go to school. Look at
they do pay for you
yeah,
to go
they'll
to
pay
school.
for you to go.
Sound paid.
Money, baby.
Money, and that's what I'm saying, like 31, and that's not even, it's not about the money. People leave. That's another thing that these employees are doing. They're leaving for like $1, and they're going somewhere else for a fucking $1. They don't understand that tax is going to take the whole $1
Yeah,
anyway.
you're not getting it.
You're not getting it, bro. Like,
We had kids leave to go to Amazon because their warehouse starts you out at $15 an hour full time.
Right.
When we start you out at like 12, but I was like, yeah, but in 5 years, dude, you're gonna be making $33 an hour with us, and
You'll
with them,
always
you're gonna
be.
maybe be making 20
maybe,
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
maybe, and you're gonna
like-
fucking work your dick in the dirt to get
Yeah.
there. And but that's what I was telling them, like when they actually have AI that does the job, which trust me, it is right around the corner. They won't listen to the bitching and the whining and the crying anymore. They'll be like, all right, you're out.
They're like, oh yeah, we got a robot to replace you. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
There's McDonald's all over the world that have replaced, they have those like U scans for McDonald's.
Yeah.
So they don't have to have many employees up front. They don't have to have them back. All you have to do is have a maintenance guy now and a manager to overlook them.
Well, when
Couple of
those
cooks and you're
things-
done.
Yeah.
Those things get your order wrong just as frequently as the fucking employees do. So
Like to what he's saying, I've told my kids is
I
like,
know.
if you're a technician that can work on these machines, that's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't need to go to college and get
No.
your liberal arts degree and be in debt $90,000.
Liberal
Yeah,
arts
for
degree,
nothing.
get
It's
your
like-
mouth right.
Go to a tech school for a year and learn how to
Make
fix
money,
this shit
dude.
because
Yeah.
it's going to be in high demand.
Yeah, and then
Always.
study the other shit on your own time.
Yeah.
You can be as smart as you want to be. You don't have to pay for your knowledge.
And that's what's crazy about it is because you can go to online college now. You don't have to do that much. So you could work that job, come home at night, and do whatever you want to do on the side, and make money while you're doing. I wish more parents.
My kids
are like
homeschooled, and they're streaming their school now.
See, they're used
So
to
they're
it.
used to
Cool.
it. They're sitting there in their rooms on tablets,
Wow, dude, I love this
going
fucking
through a day
world.
of school,
I love
That's
it.
cool.
and they're 2 years ahead of their grade
Yeah,
compared to Jefferson County.
Yeah.
nice man.
I worry about a future though, where like too many kids are homeschooled and then they have no social skills.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Mine
I can
mine
see where it
actually
might
are
not
totally
affect yours.
sociable, but
Yeah.
But-
I'm an idiot, so
yeah.
I'm,
But I mean, what
I'm
about
an
the kids
extrovert
don't
and I'm
have
an idiot,
idiot
so
parents?
there's something to be said for idiot parents,
Right?
right?
And you say, look at us.
Yeah,
Our
I know.
parents are
It's like my kids will
Just
walk up to
about
any kid
damn
and
stupid.
start
No.
talking to them,
right.
hang out. They don't give a shit.
Let's think about this.
Well,
Okay,
and all
being
that stuff does
homeschooled.
depend on the kid as well.
Being homeschooled, I think I was more self-conscious and self-aware and all that shit. And I had a lot of what is it called, insecurities,
Yeah.
because when I went to school in Portland, I got beat up every fucking day for being fat, for being white, and for having red hair, for
Yeah.
that matter. So
That should be the first thing they pick up on.
I know.
so I shut down as a
Fucking
kid. I was like,
ginger
fuck
bitch.
this. Dude. And then we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I had to shut down. If you're homeschooled,
white and redheaded.
yeah. If you're homeschooled, you don't have to worry about that. Like you don't
Unless you have a shitty older brother.
yeah. But even that,
Way to
man, it
learn
doesn't-
stuff, underclassmen, retard.
I think I would have been all right if I was homeschooled. I think I'd be a lot better than I am now because I didn't know that. Like I'm listening to these philosophers now and doing like self help books and shit like that.
Self-bettering.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to like better my outlook because I base my thought on other people's thought about how I should think. You know what I mean? We all do it. You're like you're not who
Gotta
you
base it
think
on
you are.
something.
You're who.
He's the world's tallest guitar player.
Yeah.
But in general,
The minute bowl of
you're
the
not-
axe game.
you're not who you think you are. You're who I
Other
think you
people.
think you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You base your appearance on what other people might think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I'm trying to get out of that because I don't know. And that's why I told her, I was like, I don't know if I really like electric. I don't know if I like guitar or drums or anything.
you
do I
know
want-
you at least like drums.
Yeah,
I
you
do like
definitely
drums.
like drums.
I do like drums.
As long as he's not a bass player.
Hell
I
yeah.
know.
No.
Nobody
Well,
likes that.
I don't know. No
Nobody
bass.
likes bass players.
Who isn't a bass player? Let's just go. And nobody likes
Gary
them.
Gary is not a bass player.
Not one that
No.
can.
The
He
one guy
pretends to
that
be
wants.
one.
I've never actually
true.
heard the bass when you all played. He just holds it.
He flexes. He's like,
Uh,
He flexes
it
all
looks
the
like
time.
he's good at it.
He acts like it's so heavy the whole time. I'm holding 800 pounds.
this is the heaviest bass in the world.
That is true though. Everybody
What's
can
up,
play
Gary?
bass.
Hey Gary.
Half
Fuck
steps,
you,
whole
Gary.
steps.
Your playing sucks.
Yeah.
I've heard that song.
My man.
I used to play the bass for him, and I don't play bass.
I've
Just like
I've tried
fucking
a couple
around, not
times.
like for a band.
That's
Yeah.
how they wound up with Gary.
Yeah.
That's what they got.
That's
So true.
when I make music though, I will fucking like pick up a bass or try to rent a bass to put it behind it or play the bass on a keyboard or something. But that's the only time I've ever played it because
Yeah.
it's very. Oh, I played it in church for a while and I fucking hated it. It was so. If Christian music isn't boring already, it was 10 times boring playing the fucking bass to Christian music.
Like some death metal Christian music.
It would be cool if they would actually
Have you heard that
consider
shit?
some of the
I have.
metaphysical
It is
reality.
legit.
Yeah. It would be cool.
Uh,
Wouldn't it, guys?
I don't know.
I didn't hear it.
No,
As I was saying it, I was like, wait, what are you guys talking about? I want in on this. I want to make my point and then listen.
I'm proud of you for being able to finish your sentence, though, because I wouldn't have been able to. I would have just
And he
dropped
didn't-
off.
He didn't drool or anything.
I know. You're excellent. Lovely and excellent.
It's hard to listen to conversation. That's what I was saying about you when we had Michael on. I would turn to talk, and then they would talk in the background. I'm like, I want to hear this and talk, and then I fucking forget where I'm at.
It's
it
funny.
happens.
I just figure it's cool for listening later.
So we always just talk to each other though while other conversations happening.
Yeah.
Even when it's just the three of us.
And I'm talking.
Yeah,
Always.
we still talk to the two, just
Like,
us.
Yeah.
He's
Wait,
doing the
wait.
show, and they're just hanging out over in the side.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
It's like, man, I
nice,
haven't seen
though.
you in a week. It's like-
Saw this motherfucker this morning.
No, that's what I told her though. That I'm trying to like go out and walk in the woods more and learn about. I don't know what it is about turning, like getting to 29 and thinking like after 30, death is like right around the corner.
You'll
'Cause
feel
I-
like that even more once you
Wow.
hit 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so old all of a sudden.
You were old
Don't
to
worry
begin
about
with.
it.
That's true. I'm not as old as
Yeah,
Gary.
nothing's
That's true,
changed
no.
since you walked in.
That's true.
No, but it's not like death. But I talk about death often, like because I think about like, okay, would my 60-year-old self like what I'm doing right now? That's what I always think. Like,
The answer is
there's no
probably
70.
no.
probably not. That's what, because when we got hit by the truck, that's all I could think about after that was how mad I'd be in that moment. You know what I mean? If that was it, I'd be
Right.
fucking mad. So I know that if I was 70 right now, I'd be pissed off where I'm
We
at.
had
That's
very
why I quit
different
my
thoughts.
job.
You'd be pissed
Yeah.
off because you were 70.
Fucking 70.
Now
You'd be like-
nothing works.
I
My
think I'm gonna-
balls hang so low every time I sit down. They fucking touch
Hits
the water
hits the
in the
toilet
bowl.
water when I'm pooping. It's cold. I hate it.
I'm going to be tripping all the time when I'm older, dude.
Hell yeah.
Just
You're gonna be
prepared.
such a weird old
I
man.
can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome.
To be so sage-like.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think I'm
sage.
in a moment of like self-discovery. That's why like I told her I was so fucking fed up with a job. I was like, I gotta quit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it works or not works. I can always go back to a job. I gotta quit. And I
I'm
quit.
so happy the day that you quit your job.
Oh, it was so much better, dude.
I can't wait to quit my job. I
Yeah.
like my job, but
You ever think
I
about that?
also
Just
want to
quitting?
just do this.
I'm at the point where I'm thinking about retiring.
Oh, well, that's the same.
Hell
though.
yeah.
Yeah, because then you can get out and do whatever the fuck you want,
Yeah.
and
That's
you have
awesome.
money to back
Walk
it up.
around in the yard naked and have the kids yell at me,
Mhm.
Dad's loose again. God damn it.
The one thing that scares me is like Alzheimer's.
Mhm.
Anything like that would
Don't
scare
think
me.
about
It
it.
shouldn't
Yeah, I
scare
know.
you. It's not a problem for you. It's a problem for everybody.
I know,
that's
what I was
It's fun
thinking.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new day every
I'm
day.
out in the yard in my boxers. Who the fuck are you?
I'm just gonna bury you from the neck down in the backyard and put a water bowl out there, like one of those hamster drink things. Just come hang out.
Keep me
So
sane, dude.
you'll be safe. Don't worry.
No, I just think about like I think about all the fucking memories I have, and I'm like, man, I don't want to give those up. But I
Mm-mm.
guess you wouldn't know
You'd
if you
have
when
no
you're in
idea.
it, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
It's not like, oh, here's this box of memories that I just can't open. There's no box.
Dude,
trying
I've
to
already lost
get
a
it.
big chunk of the 90s. It's not that big of a deal.
Fuck, I don't even.
I think
I'm
it's
only
like-
33 and I don't have a lot of my memories.
I think a lot of it is more the fear of the thought of.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the actual thing. Like if I was 70 right now, I probably wouldn't be that mad.
Right.
But it's me right now thinking about like at the end, like what am I gonna feel like what I'm doing? So now I try to think like, would I be happy in this moment? So I'm trying to be more happy in the moment.
So
like, do the
stop
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Think about, am I going to get up tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's right.
And if
I
you
guess
get up
so.
tomorrow, then do something fun and say, fuck it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a better way than trying to think way in advance. Because then
Yeah.
I just
I
spend all
quit
my
that
time.
a long time
And saying
ago.
you might not ever fucking get there.
Right.
And who the
Right.
fuck knows who you're gonna be at that time too? You change so much as you age.
Be a tripping
You're gonna be
motherfucker, I
Tyrese?
tell you that.
Me too.
Might be.
I think now though, if I was a trip right now, I'd be so fucking scared of like, oh, like somebody's gonna call. I need to go get a job. I need to go get money.
That's what voicemail's for.
Yeah, I know,
I'll
right?
answer the phone.
Should I put on my voicemail like, yo, I'm tripping right now, so don't leave a message. Leave a message tomorrow when I'm not tripping.
Hey, there's a dragon
you gotta
behind
set
you,
some
bye.
boundaries on your business and be like, after 6 o'clock, I'm not taking calls.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
Leave
man,
a
we
message
thought
and
about
I'll
that.
answer it in the morning.
Yeah, we've thought about that, like not saying, because I'm a yes man. I want to be there for like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be that way. That was one of the reasons I quit weddings.
Really?
'Cause
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, you know what?
It'll
Fuck
never
this.
stop.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, right,
exhausting.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And, it became
people-
a job.
And people try to negotiate you down on.
Yeah. Fuck
Like
that.
in
You're giving me
photography, they
anxiety.
want to negotiate your prices. I'm like,
Always.
You give me anxiety just
No.
talking about.
Yeah.
I fucking hate
No.
customers. That's like
this is the fucking price that you're paying. If
Right.
you want a different price, go to someone else.
And when I wanted to get out of it, I jacked the price up. I was like,
oh, that's
if
right.
you want me to shoot, it's $6,000.
Hell yeah.
Minimum. For me to
Minimum.
fucking even
Get out
think
of the
about
door.
it, it's $6,000 to $10,000.
If you
And
go
Jay-Z
over
calls
4
you.
hours, it
And-
adds 1,000.
And at some point, somebody is going to pay that. They're going to look at.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I
they're
mean,
gonna-
I'm not trying to get on myself, but they're going to look at my portfolio and be like, "I want this dude, and I'll pay the $6,000
Yeah,
to
for
get
sure.
him in here."
Yeah. Somebody
exactly
will
what
definitely
would
pay
happen.
that eventually.
And the scary thing is the shot. One of the shots that'll get them from my last wedding. I had the couple. We went out under some lights, and we had a guy run around them with a sparkler and did a long exposure where it's just like a big
Ah.
fire ring.
yeah.
We were all totally fucking wasted.
Oh, no.
It's amazing the bride's dress didn't go up in flames.
That's awesome.
Fucking
It's like
beautiful.
the picture is awesome, but
I'd
I
like to
think
see
back
it.
and like somebody could have died. We were fucking
Yeah.
really drunk.
Someone could have died.
They paid me in a case of Yingling and 2 bottles of rum because it was
Damn it, man.
that friend thing, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a damn good price.
He
Yes,
came
it
in
is.
and was like, "I don't want to not give you something."
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
was like, "Well, can we start drinking this now?" He's like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we have a lot of people that you'll fucking go and sign to a price. I mean, sign it, go through it, everything. And then at the end, they're like, well,
Yeah.
can't we go a little bit? Oh,
No.
fuck me.
You
Can't
gotta-
you eat a dick?
Ah,
That kills me.
I
dude.
wish I were on the jobs. I'd be like, well, you can pay this price, or I can take the fucking work out of your house.
Yeah.
And then you just have no
You know
electricity.
what the good thing is about working for yourself, though, is that I can go to the job, and if I'm like, man, I don't want to do this one. Really, truly, deep down, I don't want to do it. I can go home and never call them again, or say no, I don't want to do it. But at a job, you have to do it, or you're
Yeah.
like go home. Then I guess.
Well, there was a
Fuck.
job though that there have been a couple that his estimate was more expensive than other people's, and they took him
'Cause I got a
because
Yeah.
they
big dick.
I've
Yeah,
seen porn that
because he
start
had
that way.
his
Yeah.
cock out and
You gonna have it out while
He
you
walked
wiring
up
my
with a
shit?
pizza box. He was like,
Or
this pizza is $200.
200.
You want a fat dick pizza?
"This pepperoni's not sliced yet."
Damn it, man. Yeah, but customers are fucking terrible, dude. That's the only
They
thing. I wish that it was like a silent bid. Like, don't even fucking. This is the price. Either fucking call me or don't.
Right.
It doesn't matter. to
That's
me.
what you got to do.
They said though that in a few years that the skilled tradesmen will be in the like 6-figure
Yeah.
because there's nobody out there doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody get
It's
into it.
not.
I'm just waiting for that, bub. Then I'm gonna retire.
Just
Watch
right.
me
down.
make $1 million. I'm
Well,
out.
and working for yourself, it could easily be that.
Oh yeah. Rather than working for a company. Hell
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
But you probably don't get the shit like I get as a photographer. There are people like shoot for free and we'll give you exposure.
Oh.
What?
Like,
Fuck you.
Yeah, my fucking bills don't get paid by
I'm
exposure.
not some
No.
stupid shitty band. I'm not falling
Yeah.
for that.
like
Nope.
I'm not gonna say it.
Will you do video if they ask you?
No.
Okay. Photography
Yeah,
only.
I'll bring in a video. I got a video guy I'll bring in for extra, but
Yeah. What made you
know.
choose photography strictly over the video? Why is the still image like?
well, I mean, like when I was a kid in high school and after I shot film, and it was just
yeah.
for
Just
me.
felt
It's
good.
like I've already, like I got a camera now. It's part of just hanging out.
Yeah.
It was always part of the adventure. Like if we went urban exploring in an abandoned building, or if
Oh,
we went,
yeah.
four wheeling in the jeeps, or
Yeah.
it was just shooting shit while we were doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And like if I'm out with my kids, I'm carrying a camera, shooting a couple of pictures or whatever the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like that went off. I feel like still would be much better than videography. I don't think doing video it would make me uncomfortable because
know. I like
you have
video.
literally like one shot with photos. You can
Yeah, you take 1,000 and like this one's good. There
yeah,
you
at
go.
least 10 of them are gonna be fine.
I've got friends that are filmmakers that have made it to the, I call it the Sci-Fi Channel level. You know, they get
Yeah.
decent contracts to make horror movies and whatnot
Damn it.
once a year.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I've worked with them, and it's not one, like with them, it's not one shot. It's
Yeah.
like that was, and they're British, so I'm going to do my shitty British impression. Like,
Yeah.
that was perfect. Let's do it again.
It was perfect.
It
Do
was
again.
not
Chris.
British at all.
Fuck off, Chris.
I was thinking it was more like Louisiana,
Yeah,
but
well, you know.
but not.
I was thinking Brooklyn.
God, where is this motherfucker from?
I don't know.
I can't do their voice.
No, it was good though. I liked it. That makes sense.
You sure?
I'm positive. I've been trying for 15 years to do their voice, and I can't fucking.
No.
I wish
can't
more
either.
people would pay attention to
Hello.
what else you can do in like music or photography or filming, because growing up, I thought if I was gonna play guitar, I have to be in a band, I have to play music
Yeah.
on a stage in
I
front of
gotta be
people.
Kiss famous.
Then now you
Bitch,
don't
they're
have to be
famous.
Fuck
you
Kiss,
don't
though.
have to do. You can make commercials. You can make anything. Like
That's the
you can
point.
make music for whatever advertisements, all that shit.
Yeah.
You can make music for. You can get
Oh, you
paid
could
for
be
anything.
I've got a
Jingle
buddy in
Man.
Los Angeles, and he does stills and video,
Yeah,
and he films commercials like you said.
that's what I'm saying. It
And
doesn't
he's
have
not
to be.
famous, but he makes a shit ton of money.
Shitload of
Like,
Yeah.
money.
Good.
They make
like I
really good money.
remember, it's probably been 10 plus years, but when he got a contract to shoot Hot Pocket commercials,
That's
Oh,
cool.
fuck.
and he was like, this is gonna be boring, but I'm making a fucking bunch of
Yeah.
money from these guys.
Could you
He's like,
imagine?
this is where it's at.
And you love doing it. Like
Yes.
you're gonna do it anyways. So why not get paid for it?
If I were gonna have a shit ton of money, I would definitely rather be fucking loaded and not well known
Yeah.
than be
Yeah,
loaded and
and
famous.
he's really
Fuck
good,
that.
but nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Perfect.
he's really good, and he's living a good life in Los Angeles, which isn't cheap.
No,
Mhm.
it ain't. Yeah.
And
I
that's
had
what
a-
he always told me. He's like, it's better to be good than famous.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't
you
want
know,
to be famous. Kill me.
Nowadays, I think that they get traded out real quick. The famous people, like you might be famous for like a year or two, and more than likely, and I'm talking like famous, and then in like 2 or 3 years, they're like, well, what's next?
They're disposable.
Right.
Yeah, man. And they just drain them for what they're worth. That's why like Kanye signs everybody he can find. And it's just like a real estate game. They just buy up a bunch of property. If one of them fell, well, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
drain them until they don't make money anymore,
Yeah.
and then burn them.
And then burn them.
But
Throw them in the body pile.
that's something though. If I knew back when I was a kid, somebody come up and told me like it doesn't have to be one way. It could be multiple. I'm like, fuck, I would have done, lesson learned. But
Hell yeah.
kids need to know that. Like,
Shit,
there's
you're
no
doing
one
all
way.
kinds of stuff, though. Shut up.
Oh,
Sure.
eat a dick.
Oh, you eat a dick.
But that's the thing, though. There's no one way to do anything. You can make money doing absolutely, especially nowadays. Think about it. You can make money doing it.
Look
That's
at
what's
look
crazy.
at Etsy.
Right.
Right?
Have you ever been on Etsy?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
People making a living
Not
doing
anything.
whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
they're essentially not doing anything. They
Just-
put shit on there and then sit back.
Crocheting whatever, sewing whatever.
Hell yeah. And that's we've put stuff on there before of stuff that like bracelets and stuff that she's made. But another thing is drop shipping or anything like that. They don't even have to make people are getting rich off of other people's products because of advertisements or drop shipping. And it's like I don't understand it, but I wish I did. I wish I was good at it. I'd be fucking doing it.
It's
You know
good to
what I
be
mean?
good at shit.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I guess you gotta pick something. That's the only bad thing. My football coach told me one time, he's like, you can't do all the sports. I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking try.
Bo Jackson.
I don't know who Bo
Bonos.
Jackson is.
He
was the ultimate
was-
athlete.
He was a pro baseball, pro football player,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and a top athlete in both.
Damn it.
Hell yeah.
I tried when I was in high school. I was a bowler, baseball player, wrestler, and football player, and they all clashed. Like every coach was like, "You gotta come, just play this," and I'm like, "No, I don't." They told me I could play anything.
I mean, you don't give a fuck about me anyway, so
Right.
let me
Yep.
play all of them and focus on your main dude, your all-star.
Didn't Bo Jackson do some crazy run thing along the wall, like in the outfield?
Yeah.
Dude, like he ran on the wall.
That's awesome.
It was fucked.
He's scaling shit. Like when Benji, he used to.
Yes.
That shit was always crazy
I like
to
to
me.
think about him hanging over the rail, like on Waterfront Park, like he was like dangling over the river. He was like, "Look, I don't even
I
care."
know, you just climb back up. The fact that anyone can do that is amazing to me.
Hell yeah.
What is that? A lot like parkour.
Yes.
You remember when that was big?
Yes.
It still is in my head.
I remember when I was big. It
Disappointing.
was like 2 minutes ago.
That
That joke out of nowhere.
That's a lot of friends that told me that they did that. I'm like, what? I never understood it quite.
Walking
just
around
jumping and running.
running and shit. Yeah.
Jumping
That's
and
it.
running.
And you
Never
see the
made a loss.
1,000 ways that it can go wrong, and then they succeed, and you're like, I'm happy that happened, but man,
Yeah.
that could have been cool.
It's like that guy that would take pictures on the side of skyscrapers, like hanging off at one end.
Yes,
and
the
shit.
one dude fell off
Yes.
and
Fucking
died.
died.
Say that was awesome.
Yeah, and
Fuck
people
that
were
guy.
like blown away, like, I can't believe this happened over money. I'm like, are you kidding me? Eventually he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
couldn't
and-
believe it took that long to happen.
right.
Exactly.
I forgot that guy.
It's like, I'm glad he died. Doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
Yeah.
Just some
But
nameless
exactly,
jackass.
nobody
Nobody
remembers his
remembers.
name.
The guy
cool.
that
They
fell
just
off the
remember that
building.
he fell off a building being fucking stupid.
Yeah, no
know.
shit. Well, there are people who like they tightrope over like between mountain gaps
Oh,
with
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
What the fuck are
That's
you
a
doing?
whole bunch of fuck knows right there.
I guess I mean, if you love it, okay. I don't know why
It's
you
the
fucking,
ultimate attempt at focus.
I don't know why you
Oh,
love
yeah.
doing that. Okay, well, focus over a net, bitch. I don't
Fuck that.
understand.
You know, I was thinking about they tried to get me to go up a cell tower when I worked at the old company I worked for, and I got about halfway up, and then I got about three-quarters of the way up, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't get paid enough to do this, because then I found out that the guys that do cell towers make a fucking killing, dude.
Yeah.
Almost like 6 figures. They make a killing, but it got me thinking: are some people just born without that fear of heights?
Yeah.
That they just don't feel that, because I get a gut wrenching feeling.
Gun.
Gun.
Like I fucking want to pass out when I'm up too high and shit.
I can't even control my body. I
You might
just
have
start
vertigo
shaking.
too.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it fucks
I've got
me up.
vertigo.
Hell yes.
I hate it. I hate being too far up. But I was wondering if people are born without that.
Yes. Yeah, there
Yeah,
are definitely people who are not
absolutely.
impacted by it.
They
which
just
is
don't even pay
insane.
attention to it. That's crazy.
I've got a friend. He's a photographer friend, but he's a construction worker in Chicago, and they work on all the towers and the skyscrapers. And he'll go up and turn his belt around backwards and hang off the side of buildings and
No,
take pictures of Chicago.
I
It
wouldn't
gives
be
me
able to do that.
anxiety
While he's
thinking
up there.
about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
you're
Jesus.
a fucking maniac.
It just
Yeah.
takes
I'm
one
glad
time.
he does it, but fuck that.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
one time of that clip not being on right.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Or you turn the belt around and it's
But
not clipped right.
he just
Holy
it
fuck.
doesn't phase him at all.
He don't have that in him. That's
No.
crazy though, that people don't have that. I thought everybody has that in
I
them.
can't imagine having
No.
that kind of faith in anything.
No.
No,
That's fucked.
and he's
Nope.
not a small. He's like 6'3" and 250 pounds. He's not a little
Jesus
dude hanging
Christ.
off.
Is he
relying on it.
married?
No,
Okay. I didn't
and he's insane.
think so. Yeah. What's his
I had to
dish?
think, but the last I heard, no. And
Jeez.
he's got the mentality right. Like he lives in Chicago, but he would get up on a Friday and drive here, and show up at my house after work, like, let's go take pictures.
Oh,
Wake
That's
up.
cool.
He's the friend of my wife would always say, when you all get arrested, I'm not getting you out. You're gonna fucking sit there all night because you're stupid.
It's like, I'll listen
That's
to you
awesome.
and I'll mock you, but I'm not coming.
Right.
That's awesome.
No, I'll go get in this truck because I'm stupid too.
With his bachelor party, I said, when you all get locked up, call me. I'll come get you.
Yeah, all the way to Nashville, that would suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Be fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I think nowadays it's so easy to get locked up.
Yeah.
Like it took a while for me to start getting locked up, and then when I did, it was just like every motherfucking week. Every time they let me out, there would be like a 2-week period.
I thought you said you didn't want to arrest me this again.
Yeah.
I mean, once they get you, they're watching.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well,
see, they got
and,
me
you
one
know, when
time
you're-
on stealing shit, right? And then after that, after they had my picture and knew my location, they were every time something come up missing, they'd show up at the house.
Yeah.
It's like if one of your cats were to shit on your bed, you'd probably catch them shortly after they did it again.
Just
Just
like,
well,
I got you, motherfucker.
Or have you not?
no. I
Are
was
they
gonna
working
say,
together?
We have to use those fucking puppy pads because Chainsaw one time started pissing outside of the litter box and never stopped. And I got tired of cleaning cat piss up all the time. So I put,
Cat piss. Cat piss.
Yes,
Fuck
cat
this
piss.
box. I'm being wherever I want.
And it's
Yeah.
huge. It's gigantic. It's like this big.
Cats are
and-
crazy.
It's like the cat's not even that big, right?
No, not at all.
She's just an asshole.
Pisses right
I've
outside.
been
of it.
drinking water and beer for 3 days, and now I'm gonna let it out on the floor.
And she stands in the box, but just sits outside of it.
That's awesome. I wish that I could just do that. Piss on the floor anywhere and
Fuck
everywhere.
you.
I got it out of the downtown, and I had to go really, really bad. And I was
Oh,
like, I'm
that's
not
cool.
walking downstairs to take a piss. I'm pissing right here. And it was
Right
right
here.
next to the courthouse. So
It's
fuck
cool.
it. It is.
I remember one time we went to, didn't we go to like wrestling or something at,
Yes.
yeah. And then in the parking lot, you were like, oh, I wired this shit. You can pee over here. It's off camera.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
That's cool.
I do that a lot of play. I think I learned that from my dad though, because he would be drinking on the way home. He'd be like, I gotta piss. And
Yeah,
he'd just
this
stop
isn't a
anywhere.
good thing to learn from an alcoholic of where to piss outside. No, because you're gonna get locked up. Then you're gonna have a
He had a
sex
lucky
offender.
run. He had
Fucking
a lucky
shit.
run.
Look at Ron.
Yeah, man.
Whatever.
No, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's talk about ghosts now.
Yeah, go.
Oh, yeah?
Tell
No,
us about
Bobby likes
ghosts.
to do ghost shit.
Yeah.
I want to hear about some ghost shit. Let's hear about some ghost
What do you
shit.
want to hear about?
I don't give a fuck. Tell me something. Tell me a ghost story, Bobby.
You want to turn all the lights off?
What
It's
is
our
going on
They're
here?
already here.
segment. Yeah.
I've never had an experience with ghosts, so I wouldn't be able to say if they're real or not.
They absolutely are.
I don't
Have
know.
you ever wrestled a cheetah?
No.
Are
Do
they
you know
real?
cheetahs are real?
I know cheetahs are real. I can
How do you
physically
know?
see them
Mm-hmm.
in videos. I can
But
see them in
did
videos.
you film those
How do you know the
videos?
video's not been faked?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Man, come
Ain't
on.
you never seen no ghost video?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking about that today. Like
You
the flat
just-
earthers,
Yeah.
like most people think the Earth's round and it's just fear, but nobody's been to space to verify it themselves,
Right.
right?
Right.
Except Lance Armstrong.
Shut up with this shit. In
The
his one
Uniballer.
I'm
nut.
sticking with it.
He's the uniballer.
Uniballer. Yes.
Well,
So yes.
I've always thought that too. Like none of us know. I haven't even been. I've been in an airplane, but I wouldn't be able to tell you.
You can't
the-
even tell in an airplane. You've
Yeah.
got to go
You gotta go
to
up
the
that
space station.
Mm-hmm.
high to see that it's
But-
round. But is it?
There's, yes, because that shit's not flat in the store. It might not be
Hey,
round, but it's not fucking flat.
We watched this fucking documentary because I was just like, I want to see where they're coming from, right? And then this whole thing led up to this experiment at the end, and they're like, if the light shines through this hole and then it shines through the hole way down there, then the Earth is flat. Sure enough, the light didn't shine. It was like a hole like 2 foot
Right.
off, right?
Life
And they were
doesn't
like-
work that way.
yeah.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we got to readjust.
They're like, cut the camera, cut the camera.
I was like, oh, they fucked up.
Edit this out.
It was a terrible experiment gone
Awesome.
wrong.
But no, tell us about ghosts. And then we'll try to convince you that they're real.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
They are.
You have to try.
I'm not convinced one way or the other. I've seen shit that I still can't explain,
Can't explain.
but I don't know if it was a ghost or
Or maybe.
What have you considered it could be?
I don't know.
Well, what if?
God
you're,
damn it.
What if you're in the moment, right? And your brain, you're so scared, like you're gonna bring something into fruition, anyways, right? So if one thing
Like
happens,
a seance.
yeah,
I want to run a seance.
and then you bring that shit into your brain, and then one thing happens abnormally, and you're like, you blow it up in your mind, like, oh, there was a ghost, and
Yeah, but like if something flies across the room,
when
Yeah,
that happens, I
like,
believe.
I've
Yeah.
seen that shit and I can't explain it.
right?
Like I was saying, the house up the street from here.
Hell yeah. It's like, because that's not like, oh, like someone just moved this
Right, it's-
instead of not. Like,
It's not like something kind of just fell off at an arc. It came
Went
off
here
the dresser
to
and
there.
flew across the room.
Yeah.
And
If not ghosts, how else would you explain that?
There's stuff that happens in the world that people they can't explain. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
anomalies all the time
Well,
because
like-
we live in an infinite universe.
like the trumpets that
Right.
were sounding what the fuck was that? Like,
Wait,
there's
where the
Right.
hell was that? When
it was all over
It was all over the
it,
world.
it,
the
it
fucking
happened
world.
around, like, you go on YouTube and just do the search for strange sounds in the sky.
The shit's
And
creepy,
you'll get
dude.
a ton of videos from
videos.
different locations of the world of these weird ass sounds that nobody knows what the hell it was.
Mhm.
They try to explain them, but I think the explanation sounded like
I
shit.
don't remember what it was,
It
but
is
Shitty
terrible.
I remember thinking that's some bullshit.
But there's anomalies all over the world all the time because you have infinite possibilities
Right.
if something happens.
Weird shit does happen.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess if something flies across the room, like, it could be a ghost, but there's also things that we
could be
don't know about. So
who knows what.
It could.
Yeah.
We did a thing, and it was at a trailer in the middle of nowhere in fucking Indiana. And this kid was,
Always
I mean, he
Indiana.
was getting attacked. Yeah, Indiana's fucked up. Fuck Indiana. Sean Barris, suck a dick.
I'm from Indiana, bitch.
Yeah, fuck
See?
Indiana.
Yeah.
See?
I am too.
See?
Well, I know, but you won't defend it.
No, I won't.
Anyway.
No. And anyhow, so we got a call. This kid and his mom said he was getting attacked, and they didn't know what the hell was going on, and he was getting scratched and whatnot. So we went, and we took the kid outside, and me and my two buddies made like a circle around him and had everybody get away. We had him take his shirt off, and sure enough,
We all got hard.
Well, that was later.
All right.
That's
I'm
all I
sorry.
could think about.
No, seriously.
Glad you said it.
He was getting like sets of 3 scratches just coming down his back while we had everybody away from him, and we were observing him where he wasn't.
So you were just seeing this shit happen.
Yeah, it would just start happening.
Well, what the hell were you thinking?
I gotta
Sucks to be you.
fucking go.
You
Did
poor
they
bastard.
expect you to fix it? Like,
They were hoping we could at least explain it.
oh no.
And saying that they were in a trailer is kind of important because it wasn't like a long-standing 200-year-old house. It was just a patch of land that somebody threw a trailer on.
Yeah.
But they might be on top of a gravesite of something that
He could be possessed.
could be possessed too.
Shit could be trying to get out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Right.
what's your assessment? What do you think it was?
I'm still not really sure.
God damn it.
But there's things.
Just
also,
say it was a demon.
There's,
Oh
That's
God,
all I want.
that's the bad word in the paranormal right now because everybody says everything's a demon and demonic and
Okay.
blah blah blah. Fucking
So it's like
blah.
calling somebody a Nazi.
like the-
Not
right.
everything is a demon.
It's like the catchphrase where people are trying to make money off of right now.
Mm-hmm. That's stupid.
It's demonic. Well, did it rape you and murder your child? It's probably not a demon.
No, it made my bed.
I've got
It's
a
a
buddy
love
in
demon.
Connecticut
Yeah.
that spent a big chunk of his life with different religious leaders studying their version of demons and demonic, and
Yeah.
he's like, it's not always demonic.
Yeah.
It's just like this thing that got popular on TV because it sells advertising.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that shit's creepy.
what if though their brain is doing that to their body, creating
Right?
the scratches?
I
You know what I mean?
wouldn't-
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
That-
It's
that's
not
mighty
out of the
fucked up,
realm of
too.
possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I'm not one of those people though. I'm like open to all
That's true.
possibilities.
Yeah, I never thought like which is weirder. Is the body doing it to itself or is
Yeah.
it some external force that you can't see?
Yeah.
Right.
What
know.
the fuck?
right.
There's so many possibilities it could be.
No
But-
matter what, fucking scratches that are appearing out of nowhere is fucked up. It's fucked up.
Either way, yeah.
We could tell when people were faking
Yeah.
because they didn't know what out of nowhere scratches look like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you, so you just start
the out of
calling them
nowhere-
out?
Well, yes, we would. Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
fucking full of shit. You're wasting my time.
Get you to drive like hours and be like, okay, I fucking would hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
a legit out of nowhere scratch looks more like a welt. Like
Yeah.
there's a thin welt, like it got burned into the skin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Where people faking it with a pen or their fingernails, you can tell.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
thought of it. Dude, that's that'd be a cool job though.
Hell yeah. it
Going
would.
around just like, but I would like the fakers. You know, there's a bunch of rednecks out there like I want to be on TV,
Oh, yeah.
and then they talk it up with their buddies.
You
like,
would.
Baby, we need a new table. Let's fake a demon possession
Let's
thing.
fake a demon.
can you imagine like somebody behind a curtain like trying to throw eggs across the room? They're like, "Do you see it? You fucking see it?"
These fucking eggs
Or-
keep flying by.
Or in the case of the Ghost Hunters TV show that was on Sci-Fi, where they run the fishing line up the jacket and
Yeah.
then said, it's pulling my jacket up.
What
Oh,
the
what they
fuck?
do that shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck
shit.
them.
Damn it, dude.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed nonetheless.
I gotta say, I don't like watching the stuff on TV. I would much rather experience it because the stuff on TV is just not
TV's
exciting.
for entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fucking real, but I wanted to read about them because I just needed to know, like, what are people saying about them? And there were so many people, like, who not so many, but a couple who like
There's a
used to
couple.
work for them, and they're like, this is some bullshit. Like they're all fake. Every last one of these episodes is nothing but bullshit.
That's like watching a magician on TV.
Yeah.
Well, of course they can do magic on TV. That's just unbelievable because it's on TV.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
you
like that Chris
switch
Angel
the
guy.
camera angle a little bit.
What about when David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear?
Fuck him.
That
and
never
the
happened.
Statue of Liberty.
I mean, I think it was on TV.
Yeah.
No, that like David Blaine. David
gonna
Blaine's
go
a
away
fucking
for a minute.
weirdo.
Okay. Here, make this disappear. Do it.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
look,
look.
you see
It
this?
disappear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look.
It's gone.
It was so gone.
I swear to God, dude, it fucks me up every time. I know how he does it, but it's so good.
I like it. I could do one magic trick and that was it.
No, you can do more than that.
I could do
You can do
one.
a couple. I like magic.
No, but I can't watch magic on TV though.
No.
If I can, no, I would rather go watch it. I used to fucking love it when I was a kid. I wanted to be a magician and a baseball player and a bunch of other things.
It's probably like movies.
I would say so.
It's
Yeah.
like I've worked behind the scenes on a lot of movies, and I know how the effects are done. And once you
Yeah.
know how that's done, when you watch the movie, it's like,
It's like, yeah.
It's so not so special anymore.
no.
God, that would suck.
Then you kind of go back to like the Hitchcock stuff where it's all psychological thrillers and not special effects.
Oh
'cause
yeah, that's the shit that I like. Which I like special effects too. You know, Die Hard was awesome.
I do.
but-
I mean, and I appreciate it because I've got so
flies
many
through.
friends I've worked with that do special effects,
yeah.
and I've seen how it. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, but once
Well, yeah.
once you watch it, horror movies are kind of shot for you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Oh,
like
I know how they did that.
it's like working at a restaurant that you truly love, and you get to see what it looks like in the back. Oh my god, I used to love Fazoli's, and then I seen how like all the shit was made and how they prepare. Oh fuck, all that. I'll never eat there again.
Shit, I would
Probably
still.
would if I just give it long enough.
Red
Yeah, give it
Lobster's
enough
the
time.
only restaurant I've ever worked at, and I would still eat there. That shit was clean.
Clean.
It was. I mean, down to the fucking corners of the floor. Every night that shit was clean as shit. It was
Nice.
great. Plus, their food's delicious. So,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
hello.
I miss you bringing them biscuits.
They should
Dude,
sponsor
yeah.
you. Red Lobster should sponsor
I
this
know.
Oh,
podcast.
Man, we
holler at
tried to
us.
get all kinds of people to sponsor us, and they won't do shit.
We haven't tried shit.
We put it out
We
there.
made some shout outs and said, give us a call.
Give us
What
us
more
some
do you
free
want?
shit.
Give us some free shit.
Give
Red
us free
Lobster,
shit.
give us a call.
We'll pimp you out for free shit.
We'll eat your food on our podcast every
yeah.
week.
Every week.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Free food. I'll
Go
take
talk
that.
to my old GM. He still works there. Well,
That's
I
sad.
say that. I don't know. I haven't been to Clarksville and looked, but I imagine.
That sucks for him.
Nobody
Motherfucker
gets out of
probably
there.
makes bank.
You know, managers at restaurants make a whole lot of money. It's
Anyway.
not a
Even at
bad deal.
McDonald's, they make pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
pretty good money.
Most definitely. It'd be worth it to holler at
Selling
'em.
weed at McDonald's, you make a whole lot of money too.
You probably make more than you do working there.
Especially if you're doubling as manager.
Yeah. Shit, you'd be
Y'all
making
motherfuckers wanted a
$90,000 a year.
You could be late 10 minutes if you buy a quarter sack off me.
Money making ideal, man.
I'm not doing that. I don't smoke weed. Well, then you're fired.
Hey, do your magic trick again for Ian. 'cause
Oh,
he
Ian, you
loved
want to
it.
see the magic
Do it
trick?
again.
Where'd it go?
Well, I mean, it's sitting in his hand.
Well, you're on the wrong side of him.
I
You're
know.
not in front of him.
No,
But
but the
it
first
was
time.
so-
It doesn't
No,
work on the
when
right
he-
side, damn it. You gotta come over here. Sit
When
in my
he
lap.
dropped,
Come
like
on.
the first time when I was leaving, like when
Yeah.
he dropped it, I was like, I was at a different angle, and that still impressed me.
Yes.
Yeah.
This shit's cool.
But I hated the fact that thing come out a while back where the magician was like giving
Oh,
up
yeah.
all the secrets.
Telling
Yes.
everything. That dude should
That's
have
on
been.
Netflix. My kids
Yeah.
fucking love it.
That guy
That
should have got
stupid
punched
masked
out and then
bastard.
raped.
Surprised he didn't get shot.
Yeah.
I know, man. They should have rose up against that
It's
shit.
because he's Tupac.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly.
So he's
why.
already been shot.
Yeah. But he survived.
5
9
times.
times. Oh, 5 times.
5, yeah.
I'm thinking about 50 Cent.
Yeah.
9 times.
Oh,
Yo, you know what? I don't think that shit's as cool as they make it. I bet every one of them motherfuckers, when they got shot, they acted
Cried.
like a little baby.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I
been in.
guarantee it.
I got my teeth kicked through my lip in jail, and I had to go down to medical. And then in medical, when you get first brought in off of like going to the hospital for a gunshot wound, they bring you there, and they're all hard on the street. But when you come in with dog bites in your legs and then you have a what's that thing, the sock they put on your side that you pee into?
The
colostomy bags and shit. You're not so
Shit
motherfucking cool then.
No.
And the fucked up thing is, look,
Why's
so
that
all
full
these
of
people
jizz?
that like gangbang and they shoot and kill and all that shit, they get into jail and in prison and they get fucked up because there's no guns in jail.
Yeah.
They don't know how to fight. None of them know how to, that's why they use guns. They don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
The dude
Yeah.
I dated before you, he got shot. He said he cried out for his mom when he
Yeah.
got shot.
I met a guy that shot himself in the leg, and he said it was the most terrible fucking feeling ever.
That shit would fucking... Dude.
He said you go into shock immediately. But the guy that I'm talking
would
about was like a
burn.
local rapper and shit, and he was all cool in the street.
Yeah.
But man, when he come in there, he looked fucking pitiful. Like
Nah, that shit would
pitiful.
burn.
Wasn't so cool then.
I don't
It ain't
like
cool.
it.
And that's what, like, even going to prison, people say, you know, that like they speak highly of that. Like that's a fucking
You got like a rite of
a
passage.
rite of
Man,
passage.
I just flex.
It is not that fucking cool. It is not that. It's cool because you don't have to do it. That's the one thing about getting out that was weird, is because then, you know, I had to cook my own meals. I had to work for my own shit. And they're fucking living it. I don't care how bad you make it in prison. If you feed them and give them a place to sleep, it's better than being in the real world because they don't have to work for it.
Yeah, they don't do a damn thing.
Whether or not people are there to back them up, they don't have to do anything. They just get to lay there and get fed like an animal.
Like
Are,
an animal.
are ugly dudes less likely to get raped in prison?
They're probably like the first to get raped.
I feel
like
like it doesn't
ugly
matter
dudes?
if you're ugly or
I was thinking
not.
it's not a matter
Just
of
if
like,
you're new.
Yeah.
Sense of
Well.
variety.
Yeah.
That's what they do when
Ooh, I
they,
ain't never had that.
you first come in, like they test
Switch
you.
hands.
And they're like, what can we get from this person? Or can we fucking extort them? And then the last thing they do is,
It's
Can we
fuck
fuck 'em?
in the ass. You remember that time you were talking about being, what's it fucking called? When you...
Buzzing.
Buzzing.
Buzzing, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then you said, I miss prison. You
Man.
told this whole story about buzzing for some dude while he got his dick sucked. Man, I miss prison.
Man, I miss that shit was fun. There was more comedians and fucking artists and creative people in prison than there are out in
Oh,
the streets.
yeah.
There's so much wasted talent in prison. It's not even fun. I've met people who can draw a picture, look at you, and draw you exact. It looks like a fucking photo.
Yeah.
But they don't even have to do it. They just take a normal piece of paper, a pencil, and fucking like a piece of cotton, and they can make it look just like you. Blows me away. People who can sing, people who can play guitar and shit, and it's all wasted, dude.
Yeah.
Because all they want to do is fuck up and go to prison,
Yeah.
and they like it. They fucking like being there because they don't have to. They don't have to work hard. They don't have to do anything. Like a
They
job in prison is like fucking make up this plate of food and give it to people. Oh, okay, cool.
They could sit there and do their true passion.
Yeah,
See, if they're actually a good chef, though, it would kind of be
I'd be
bad
shitty,
for
yeah.
their soul. They're like, why can't I make this all gourmet and shit?
Yeah.
It's eating me up.
Something that really fucking blew me away, and I thought that I was being lied to, is the food that comes in on the boxes when you open them. The food that comes in says that it's only for prisoners and what are they, zoo animals.
Zoo animals.
Zoo animals. And that's what kind of food that they give you. It's
Same
still
grade.
it's still technically food, but the grade of it is for prisoners and animals.
I bet the lions and tigers and shit got like better steaks and shit,
Yeah.
better meat.
Fuck yes, dude.
People will at least sneak them something good.
The crazy thing
I
is
got
that
you a
deserve
Big
this.
Mac.
well, after you get done eating like that food for like a year and a half, by the time you get out, dude, like food out here is way different than food in there. I
Dude,
don't
the
know
first thing that we did was we went to Texas Roadhouse and he got a steak and he had to shit before he was ever done. Instantly.
go,
It was like,
dude.
oh my God.
why. My body was like, get the fuck out of here. No. I
He
do
said,
miss
I gotta
prison,
go to
though.
the bathroom.
There's a lot of funny motherfuckers in prison, dude. I knew this one guy that every time somebody would go to parole, because everybody gets denied when you go to parole, especially your first time. They're denying the shit out of you. And every motherfucker, every guy I watch, every guy get denied, and they'd be like, this is my chance. This is my opportunity. It's going to happen for me. right?
Yeah.
They'd work themselves up, and this guy would make it his mission to work these guys up. He'd be like, "You're getting out, dude." They're like, "The paperwork says you're getting out." Would build them up, and then sure enough, they'd come back in and they'd be crying, and he would laugh in their face. And he'd be like, you know what I mean? Like fucking just break them down, dude.
How'd you not know you done fucked up, son?
And it was the best thing that I lived for that. I woke up in the morning waiting for people to go to parole to see him cry, come back and cry, because this dude would fuck him up that much, dude. I love that guy.
It's awesome. I found that letter that he wrote you.
Yeah, man.
I want
Dude's a
that
fucking
job.
guy.
What did the letter say?
Oh, I don't know. We've just talked about trying to find it before so he could reach out
okay.
to him, because I bet that guy's great.
I would do. You need to go to prison one time. Go to prison one time.
I don't
Just
know.
check it out.
Have you ever
one
been
time.
to prison?
No.
No? Well.
Have you ever thought about?
So
like,
now you
that'd
think
be
you're
pretty-
better than us. No, I'm joking.
You should try it out one time.
Well, I know I am, but
I would like to go
Wasn't gonna
back.
bring it up, but
I'd like to go back to
fucking
to,
around.
like,
Give me
speak
all
to
your
'em and
shit.
I would like to do that. Like do some like charity work for people in prison.
Now that you're off probation, I bet
I
you
can.
could go. They wouldn't let him before.
Off probation, waiting for a motherfucker to jump.
In your personal experience,
Yeah.
how many people in prison were okay, and how many were just complete shit?
What? Oh, actually good guys.
Yeah.
Well, once they get to prison, I think they're good guys, because in prison you have no money, you have nothing but your word. You don't have anything to back you up. All you have is your word. So if you there's like 10% of them that get fucked up for like saying, "Oh, I got you back, man," and then come payday they don't give it back or whatever. But
Is payday lunch?
sometimes they give up lunches. Sometimes it's like commissary items and shit they won't pay back. But there are a lot of like solid motherfuckers, but the only reason that they're solid is because there's no drugs involved, there's no money involved, there's no greed, they got nothing. Like, we're all like on the same playing field in prison.
Their
You know what I mean?
desires are at bay,
Yeah.
so they can be okay.
Yep. And that's why there's a lot of good motherfuckers sitting in prison, and that sucks
Yeah.
because you could be so much more, but you don't. I spent most of my time like imagining what the world would be like. I knew the world, but when they put me in a vehicle for the first time, when I got fucking like it was new. I was like, what is happening? And you never know like what you can get used to until you go to prison.
I feel like there's something different about prison. It's like you go into a different world, because even going
is.
in as like a visitor, when I came out, the world looked fucking different.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. It was very odd.
Think about like looking at the world from a window that's like this, and then sit there for a year and a half, and then they let you out one day.
Yeah.
And you get to feel like it all looks like a movie, but then you get to touch it. It's just, it's a weird feeling.
Can you imagine going for like 10, 20 years? Some shit like that.
It's like Pizzones are still going to be
Be-
great, and Butterfinger will never change.
Thank God.
Fucking
God.
crazy to be incarcerated for 25 years and get out.
Yeah.
You should give it a shot.
Especially at the rate that things change now. Oh shit.
I couldn't imagine,
I
bro.
would still
Minnie
going.
must stand alone.
If
Oh,
I went
shit.
away for like 10 years, so that's what I told her. Okay, if they lock you up for 10 years, forget about it. That guy's coming in and out of prison, because in 10 years, he's not, whatever he knew before prison
It's done.
is completely different when he gets out. So there's no way you could get back on track that quick. No way.
What if you're an accountant and you're like cooking books wrong for places,
maybe.
and you get thrown in like white collar jail or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do
Like
you
a
think you'd
federal?
come back from that?
Oh, yeah.
If you could find someone who would hire you with having that
Oh.
on your,
On your record.
because then you're shady. For
Man, y'all know I want somebody shady.
life. And you know motherfuckers don't care about shit except for the one time you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
don't
about
care.
these
They judge you
1,000
on.
times I did right?
Right.
Nah, fuck that.
Nuh-uh. You messed
Fucked
up
up.
once. I'm good. I'll
That seems to
pass.
be human nature in general.
Yeah.
Yes,
They really
it
do
is
hold
human
on
nature.
to the bad.
It's just like me. It's just like me getting not kicked out of church. I didn't get technically kicked out of church. I just got kicked
You
out of
didn't
the
get
band.
asked back.
No, nobody come like fucking talk. So okay, I get kicked out because of this podcast, right? They didn't like what I was saying. They didn't like that I questioned God. They didn't like that I fucking. They didn't like that I said that I believed in like other religion. I believe what they're saying. That's cool and all that. And so they didn't believe or like a lot of things I said, right?
So
But-
forgiveness is out the window.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they didn't none.
Completely. Yeah.
Hypocrite ass bitch bastards.
Right?
Damn. But when we went to like go donate and all that, and we thanked the guy that helped us with that, nobody said a fucking word. All they could talk about was this thing that I did bad. People like talking shit. It's a weird world out there, man. You can do good, but the first time you do bad, that's all people remember.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like if you have a car that goes for 100,000 miles, no problems, and then it like breaks down for a minute. You're like, oh, you're breaking down all the time.
Oh, the motherfucker.
All
You
the-
piece of shit car.
Every week this bitch breaks down.
It was once, bitch.
Yeah.
You pipe down and you get no more gas.
You've had me for 15 years. I've never broken down. Yeah.
Yeah.
You good? You want to
That,
eat?
you want to eat, son?
You wanna eat?
That was another
No, no,
Is that a
wait,
fat
wait.
joke?
Uh-oh.
Hang on. No, I
It's
just
a
want.
fat joke.
I want
Not
to let
intentional.
I feel attacked.
Bobby tell people where they can get at you,
Yep.
so they can see your photography skills in action. Your
Then I'll
beautiful
have to do more
photography
work.
skills. You're gonna keep doing work.
No.
You don't
Just
get to
look at
retire
this
yet.
shit.
I'm just shooting your band.
Oh, well, don't worry about it.
Just look at
Don't
his
look at
shit.
that
Don't
shit.
ask him to do any work for
Yeah,
you. 'Cause
just look
he's
at
not
Bobby
going to.
Tingle on Facebook.
Yeah,
Or
Bobby
you can find
Tingle.
I mean, that's my webpage, so
What about Instagram?
Yeah, he's on
Yeah,
Instagram too.
yeah, I think it's my Instagram too.
Yep, Bobby Tingle on Instagram.
I'd say
We
that's how
appreciate
much work
you.
I don't want to do.
Yeah.
He's a talented man, and he's fun to be around. So
We appreciate you coming out and being on the podcast, man.
Thanks for
That was our
having me out.
second guest, and we enjoyed the shit out of it.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't Amy that angry.
Yeah. Angry
Angry
Amy.
that broad.
She's gonna kill me now.
She was
That's
gonna
all right.
talk
She's
shit
gonna kill
during
me
the
anyway.
Gonna kill you anyway, yeah.
Worth
Yeah.
this being.
For people who might want a T-shirt down the line, put your size in the fucking comments. Just let us know what size
Oh,
so that we can get it.
Zach said something to me the other day at work that he won't put in the comments, and I forgot about it.
He's a
So
dick.
fuck him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he liked it. Somebody called him a name.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was me.
Yeah.
Tell him to put
All
it
right,
in the
yeah.
goddamn comments.
Sarah.
Because fuck you.
Fuck you, you
Zach.
worthless
Stop
bastard.
listening to our shit.
God, do it.
Well, that's how we win fans.
Yeah, we do.
Wait.
Write this down.
That's one of my supervisors. Calm down.
I know. I'm just joking.
I'm just
Sorry,
kidding.
man.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck
It's another
you.
wonderful
listening.
episode.
We're not
of
done yet, Adam.
Wildly
I refuse
uninteresting.
to quit.
Ian doesn't know
Can't
where
keep
he's
me
playing
down,
at.
damn it.
No,
Sarah's
keep
not
me-
doing anything. You can come visit her on the couch if you'd like.
that's right.
I'd be right next to her.
That's how
I'd be
porn
chilling.
starts.
If you want some
ice cream.
electric work done, call somebody else because I ain't coming. And if I do want to fuck it up.
No.
Other than that,
He's not
though,
gonna fuck it up. He's excellent.
and Bobby wants to do a lot of work at weddings. So anybody just
Yeah.
get on his webpage
Yeah.
and holler at him.
Send
Maybe
me
see-
money.
See
See if
A
you can
lot of
bargain
fucking
with
money.
him.
He wants to do your lifelong photographs of your family,
Yes.
please.
For the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking
Yes.
we're gonna start in the bathroom. So
Nice.
exposure
Yes.
fits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
be
I was thinking-
exposed.
Did
in
you
there.
take those pictures?
End
of them in
this.
the
I have
bathroom?
to pee.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried, motherfucker.
Exposure, like when you get lost in a mountain and you get like frostbite and
Exactly.
This was another episode of Wildly Uninteresting. I'm your host, Adam. This
Hi,
is
I'm
Sarah.
Sarah.
This is Ian. And this was our special guest, Bobby
stuff.
motherfucking Tingle.
Burby.
We thank you for being on the show. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment, like,
Skibbity,
share,
skibbity, skibbity,
do all the other things that
bop,
can, give us exposure.
Bibbidi,
Uh,
bibbidi,
bop,
skibbidi,
ba-dee,
skap,
beep, ba-dee,
skap,
There's a new
bop,
bibbidi,
bop,
Blink-182
beep, beep,
song.
beep, beep, da, ba, ba, bow. Wildly uninteresting. Sting, sting, sting. And we're out.
That's not part of it.